phenomenal lineup for you today. So first up, we've got Lynn Lee. I'm just going to give it a few more seconds until we get a few more people joining. Just want to say that I am so grateful, so proud, so appreciative of everybody that's donated, also the coaches that have come on board for us all to raise money for Holly, Sophie. So we've got Rett syndrome and Angelman syndrome. So what has happened, I've been blown away by the quality of everybody's like presentations, the engagement, the commitment, and all the support in the background. So I'm not going to waste any more time. We're going to get the wonderful, sensational Lynn Lee out here. How are you?
I am very well. Hi, Dre. What type of
Hey,
music? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, Dre, listen. What type of music is scary for birthday balloons since it's your birthday?
Oh no, I think I know. I think I can take a guess. All right. What is it?
It's pop music. Thought that would cheer you up. There you go. Start your day.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, thank you so much. So today is Pssst, parents wake up. That's what you're going to be talking about. So what I am going to do, I am going to jump out. I'll be back in about 20-ish minutes for any sort of questions that come in. So you be amazing. Let me know if you need anything. And I'll just be here on the side. All right.
Woohoo. Yes, thank you, everyone. And I just want to, before I start, I want to acknowledge Dre's work. It is amazing, and it's such a special message that we are sending out to Paul and Brett's family, in particular in our coaching community, as well as the wider community. So Dre, hats off to you, and thank you for the invitation. And you know, for those of you who are out there, just know that you're not alone. We are here and we've got your back. And so I am Lynn Lee, as Dre said, and Lynn Lee with the only one E. And I've spoken at schools, and the school captains have introduced me as Lynn Le. But I'm Lynn Lee, so Vietnamese, it's Le actually. And I am a family coach. I haven't always been this way. So I haven't always been a family coach. I've been a teacher, and I've been coaching teachers, but never been in this space, coaching families. And so today, I know many of you, I mean, I've listened to a few, actually a lot, but not all, and we're all coaches. So I wonder if you are a coach and you're watching this, I'd love for you to take off your coach's hat. I'm going to talk a lot about family, about parenting. So, you know, we take it off and then reveals another hat that we wear, which is, you know, daughter or son or uncle, which we're all fall under that family umbrella. So, you know, sit back, and I'm just going to share with you my journey to being in this space, in this coaching space, directly come from the role as the mother. So I'm just going to turn this down a little bit to give me a little more space. There we go. Just feel more oriented. So the, you know, any teacher, any good teacher would do is to give the frame of the you know, of the lesson, so to speak. But as a coach, I always forget to do the frame. So I'm going to remember now to say what I would do is I would talk a lot about, well, about my journey. So the journey, which started with the kind of mother that I was, and then what happened to my children, and then you know, I'll share with you a lot about their achievements, and it's not to boast, because if you know the achievement, then you will see the difficulties that I had to go through when I stopped, and then what I did to stop, and following that is what I do now. So that's the structure of my talk, and I just hope to. I can see some messages here, but I'm not able to read. So to start off with, what I went through was because I was a mother, because I was a teacher, there was this expectation of me to being a good mother. And when I went into it, my goodness, did we work hard? Did I work hard? And we, there's this thing with expectations where if it's expected of you, you just rise to it. And so I did. We have, I'll share with you. Oh, it says doing some share screen, and it says want to show. Okay, so now what do I do here? Can you see it? Oh, there you go. Can you? Oh, but you're seeing my screen.
Yeah.
Hang on. I'm not. Oh, so how do I get to this one?
Yeah. So if you can put your that screen behind, can you put the other one in front of it?
Like that? No. Oops. Now I've lost you.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, that's all right. That's.
Can you see? What can you see right now, Dre?
I can see us on the screen. So your the presentation's behind us, and the presentation forward, in front. That's
Like
it.
that. But then I can't see
Yeah,
you.
like that.
So I'm to my screen. So.
Oh, that's all right, because I'm coming off the screen. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
And we'll save the
That's how it is.
I was gonna say we'll save the messages. Yeah.
All right, I can't see. I'm just now talking to my computer, which is fine. I can imagine that you are there listening. Oops, can you? Oh, hang on. Let me go back. This is strange. End the show. What can? Well, okay. I hope you can see. Yeah. So this is my.
Yeah, we can see.
Great. Okay. So this is my family, just so that you have a picture of who I'm talking about. That's me and my husband. So we were high school sweethearts, and that was me in a community dance, and he was there supporting me. I think that was second year, first year uni. So we knew each other since year 7. So and this is my family. Here are my 3 kids. So he's now 19 and he's now 15. I always say he's 16, so I've got to be careful about that. He's 15, and there's my little baby. He's 2. So if I can stop the sharing, which now, I think if I go back here, I see you again. Yes? But I don't want to do this share. If I click on here, I get back to normal. There we are. Yeah. So we started off, I was to fulfill my role as a parent. And so we worked very hard. And my children were able to, when you work hard, you bound to get the result that you want. You work hard, you think about it, and you find another way. You get what you want. And so it wasn't until so we worked really hard, and I want to share with you the things that I wanted to share. Okay, so I can see the time ticking away. So what I'm going to move on to sharing with you the achievements. Hey, Paul, thanks for watching. So I want to share with you the achievements that we were able to get. Now we worked and we worked, and so we got a lot of things. And I want to show you. Well, maybe I'll just share with you the things that we were able to achieve, which by grade 6, Jordan was able to play 3 musical instruments. And he was captain of his class, and he was, he could play he was composing music, and he was actually, having all of these great things. And so did Lee. Lee, by the time that he got to, grade 6, he was also captain, house captain, and a lot of things, right? But then what went wrong was at the moment where I sat in the winning of the biggest prize, which is the scholarship to a prestigious grammar school. When we sat in the principal's office, in the headmaster's office, and he was giving out this prize, and he asked Jordan a question, and Jordan replied, "I'll do my best." And in that moment, something allowed me to listen to the voice inside that whispered something else, and I couldn't really grasp what it was, but I knew that there was something I need to pay attention to. And as I walked out of that, we walked out of the office, we were still very we're in this great feeling of pride, because now we've got all of, we've basically made it. We've got what we wanted. But as I walk away from that office, it was like that part of me just left behind in the footsteps that I was taking. That part of the tiger mum, the helicopter mum, or whatever that was going with this quest to fulfill my role as bringing the potential out of my children. And if you are a parent here, when we see the potential in our kids, we may, well, for me, and I don't know what it is for you, but it is for many of the parents that I was surrounded by, is when we see the potential in our kids, we forget about raising them as who they are, but more towards who they can be. And that was the whisper that says to me, think about that. And so I would like to show you what Jordan was able to do. Yeah, this is just a glimpse of, so I'm hoping that you're going to just sit back and just let me share this journey with you, because I want to eventually tell you what I had to do. Jordan, how do I? Can I talk?
Hey, you okay, Lynn?
Can you see me? What's going on here? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
You can hear me. Can you see the video, Trey?
No.
Can you see the video I just showed?
I can see a piano.
Oh, okay. You can see it, but you couldn't hear it, right?
No, I couldn't hear it.
Oh, you could. So did you see a piano with a boy playing? So you saw that video?
Yeah, I saw him just sitting down. I didn't see it playing.
Oh, isn't that interesting? So you see the picture, but you don't hear the sound. Okay, you know what? I don't think it's playing the videos. What do you think, Dre?
Yeah, do you want to try it again?
Can I try another video? So okay, so I'll try that video again.
Yeah.
So I click on my screen that I want to share, and now I'm playing it.
Yeah, it's playing.
It's playing.
I can't hear anything. So, all right, what you can do, Lynn, I've got an idea.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you go to share screen again, that's it.
Come back to us.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you press it once more, and then at the bottom left-hand corner, there'll be a little tick box where it'll say share. It should say share system audio.
Share system audio. A tick box at the end. That doesn't.
No, it doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it's there.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Okay. I'll just talk through it then.
Okay. All right. No worries.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, doesn't play the audio, and that's okay. So what I guess what I'm trying to articulate to you is, well, in this video here, when I share the screen, you see the picture, which is fine. I will talk just with the picture, and that's what you see. Okay, so if you see this is Jordan playing his composition. So he composed this for 2 musical instruments, and this is him in grade 7, by the end of grade 7. And at this point here, if you see how he is, this was the point of his deepest pain. But you cannot see it on them. You can only feel it. I could feel when I was sitting here watching him play this, and I may be emotional because I'm sharing my story and my journey. So, just let me be if I do. And I know that you appreciate me sharing this with you. Is here I was sitting here watching him doing such a beautiful, great, piece of art, that he's capable, that he has the potential to now. I was able to help him to real. But I knew the journey. I knew the pain that he is having while he's playing this. And sat in the and here's another one. Yeah, here's another one at the same year. I don't know. You can't hear the video, but in this video, he's at his sport presentation. This is at the prestigious grammar school, and he was the first youngest student to play in first volleyball, and it was a great I guess moment for them to. It's a great achievement. And so the teacher was praising him on this, and he was coming up to receive his color certificate. So I'll stop the share if I go back here, and I stop the share. So I want to share with you the achievements, and when we sat in the principal's office and receiving this ultimate prize, that was when I had to listen. And it wasn't easy, because we were on this, if you imagine you're on, you're flying, because we were, I want Jordan to run with lions, and so that he can be king of the jungle, because he has all these potentials. Every teacher that he had, the music teachers he had, would say to me, Lynn, he's a natural. And, I got so caught up in that. But initially, as a family of these 3 kids here, we, no, hang on, sorry, I just lost the screen. Yeah, we set out to achieve joy and happiness and harmony and love and, fulfillment. It wasn't what we were focused on to, achieve. But then when we get caught in that, and that's my message for everyone, is sometimes we get caught in that potential. We forget to experience the moment, the life, the present. And so I had to stop. I listened to the voice. I saw and I watched him, and I sat in his emotions and observed. And I realized there was so many things going on in the family that wasn't happy, although we were achieving. And at that point, I had to stop. But how? Yeah, how? It was so difficult, because, like I said, we were flying high, and if you imagine, you're running with lions, and if you stop, you'll be crushed. Yeah, what would be crushed? Our egos, our all these potentials, and all these people looking up to us. And during that time, I had a lot of people coming to me and asking me how did I do it, and share with them. And when I was sharing with them, I had a question: am I helping or am I damaging? And it was that those questions came and helped me to reflect, and I knew I had to stop. And so stopping wasn't easy, but So I remember sitting there writing a letter to myself, telling myself to, hang on, Lynn, you know, this is who you are, reflecting. And I said to the kids, and I said to the family, you know what? I need to recalibrate. You know, in Scouts we learn if you go on a hike and you get lost, well, then you stop. And so I said to everyone, keep going, because I don't know where we're going. I don't know what the right thing is to do here, but I just don't feel like I am leading you on the right path. And it was like, you know, seeing Jordan and the kids, you know, I'm making them fly, but maybe perhaps they don't want to fly. Maybe they want to be a car, or they want to be a submarine or something different, because it was so miserable in the house. We were arguing a lot and my throat was hurting every day. Lee and I, we would argue every day. And every time my husband, every time he comes home, I'd be saying, you know, your child, do you know what he did today? And so I was always dobbing them in and getting upset, to the point where Ben so my husband was complaining to me, Lynn, I don't know, I never knew raising kids was this hard, and I'm experiencing these depression-like symptoms, and we just blame it on, you know, midlife crisis, because we were 40, and our kids being defiant because they're teens, and Lee being at 8 and 10, that he was totally he was so difficult, and we just blame it on him being stubborn. He's born stubborn, and so it was difficult, and so it was easy to blame the external world. But I stopped. I learned, I studied, I read, I got coached, and I learned everything that my coaching college has to offer me. And so I eventually, moment by moment, step by step, I stopped. And it was this huge change in the family. The kids called me old mum, new mum. And so from that place, eventually I realized I was beginning to hear that which my heart was saying to me, is to let go. And it wasn't to let go of the kids, it was to let go of the control. So that's why I call this, you know, wake up. We need to wake up to the voices that's calling inside of us, that, you know, we wake up to listen to our kids, to hear the voices that we are saying to ourselves, that we are not happy. And so stop and recalibrate and find out what the direction that we're going, that we want to go to, which is joy and fulfillment and harmony and support and love and all of that beautiful feelings that life can offer. And yet we chase something that only when I got to where I thought I wanted to get to, where I realized I was completely empty. That was emptiness. That voice was the voice of emptiness. It was the echo of the sound of that silence inside that say, hang on, you only have one life. Let's make the best of it. Let's do what it is you're here to do. And so we stopped, and I want to share with you here. This is, oh, hang on. Are you seeing this? I'm not sure whether you see it, but I now become can you see it?
No, we can't. No, we can't see anything. Yeah, you need to share it again.
Okay, thanks, Trey, for being there.
Okay. Now we've got a few minutes left. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So I just want to show you quickly. This is the model that I went through for myself. Is when I was taking them on that journey, I was on this outside model, which is, I call it the Beauty and the Beast dance, where we have moments where we are in touch with ourselves, and then we're not. And so I call it, you know, riding in the mud was so difficult. And so now the journey that I've been through, the journey I took my children through, was what I was actually doing is teaching them these blue words, which is shame, fear, and all the negative, difficult things that makes us not move, not do the things that we are here to do. And so the circles inside is actually what I do now to lead them back to themselves. And therefore, and that's what I do in my sessions with parents to teach them, you know, how to love themselves, how to listen to themselves first, and then how to guide their children to being themselves without or with minimum damage in terms of teaching the blue words. So that's my journey, and that's what I do now. So Dre, I am back to you.
Hey, I love that, Lynn.
Dre.
You are absolutely amazing. Can you hear me?
I can
Yeah,
hear you.
excellent.
Yes.
Excellent. All right, we've got 2 minutes before we hand over to Joe Jackson. So I've got a couple of questions for you. Number one, what's the best way for people to get hold of you?
Yes, so Linley on Facebook or the Mindful Parent community is where they can reach me. Or join me on the challenge that's coming up at the end. Or reach out to me, Linley, Linley on Facebook, and I will let you know the challenge that's free that's coming up now, which I go into depth of that model.
Excellent. So is the challenge this month or is it next month?
It's at the end of this month.
End of this month. Oh, okay. So it's okay. Very soon, very soon, very soon. And last question: is there
Very
anything that you'd
soon.
like to? Yeah. Is there anything that you'd like to leave us with? So any last words, something like maybe a quote, something inspirational, something motivational, or even maybe another dad joke if you if you go on.
I searched 5 and I chose that one because I thought, the platform, there was one that's great, but I'll save it for our private chat, Dre. But I do want to say, so when I started the journey, I was always asking myself the question of there has to be a better way. There has to be a better way. And it did lead me to the coaching. But I think a better question is there has to be a belief is there has to be another way, because the better way still, I find when I was thinking there has to be a better way, there was always this comparison that I get caught in comparing my style of parenting and another person's style of parenting, which was the most difficulty part of the journey of transformation. So when I remove that and just another way, we all have our way and our way works for us at this point. Yeah. So find another way, and there is always another way. If this way of parenting or however you are leading your life isn't working for you, there is always another way that will work for you.
I love that. Find another way. All right. So Lynn, when I have kids, I'm not sure when that's going to be, so I need to get a girlfriend first. I am going to find another way. And I just want to say a huge, massive thank you for you for a couple of reasons. Like one, for coming on, contributing, donating, sharing like so much gold and so much value. And also number two, for being who you are. So you're an incredible human. You've just got like just so much love like inside of you that you give to everyone, and I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Blessings,
You are
Dre.
so welcome. All right, I'll see you soon. Take care. And I love the joke. Yeah. All right, next up we have Joe Jackson. And if you're thinking, oh, Joe Jackson, is she related to Michael Jackson, Tito, Latoya, Janet? No, she is not. I absolutely love this woman to bits. So we're in an accountability pod, and like with Joe, very, very successful, very switched on, and just a wealth of knowledge, and just love listening to her because she's just got so much wisdom, so much wisdom. All right, so let's get intimate. That was okay. I haven't warmed it's early in the morning. I haven't warmed up the voice, but that is what Joe is going to be talking about. Let's get intimate. Joe Jackson, how are you?
Love it. Oh, I am amazing. Thank you so much for a very, very cool intro, and happy birthday.
Like, oh, how does everyone know it's my birthday? I'm so shocked and surprised.
I don't know. Gee, wow. It's a psychic thing. I can't speak for everybody else, but me, it's pure intuition.
Firstly, I just want to say, yeah, thank you for giving up your time on a Sunday to be part of this, and I'm really interested. I love listening to you, and I'm really excited about what you're going to be sharing today. So do you need any slides or anything, or are you just gonna talk? Or
you know what? No, I'm not a big believer in death by PowerPoint. I am one of those speakers that believes that, you know what, if I have an engaging enough conversation with you, the last thing you're going to want to do is look at a series of slides. So no slides, no props, no anything today. It's purely energy and hopefully a download of something that people are going to pick up key points.
I love that. All right, so I'm gonna depart. I'll come back in about 20-ish minutes for any sort of like questions, and yeah, let's rock out.
All right, awesome. Thanks so much again, Jay, and welcome everybody to Intimacy. Now, you could be very easily confused by thinking that, oh, well, she's talking about intimacy. She must be a relationship coach. And if you can see what I've got written down on the bottom of the screen here, it says Joe Jackson, stronger, faster, smarter. That doesn't sound like intimacy for me. So what on earth could she possibly be talking about? It appears that maybe she's not a sex coach. You'd be right. It appears that maybe she's not an intimacy coach. Well, I can coach you on intimacy if you like, but that's not the topic of today's session. I'm here to talk to you about performance, a performance mindset. What is it? How does it work? Where does it come from? And also recognizing the fact that you have 6 million people at you right now just talking about performance, 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 and success and get it done and all of these amazing things. And sometimes you just want to breathe and say, you know what? I'm just going to step over here for a little bit. And this is just all too much. And I'm not coping and I don't want to hear it. And I'm just going to switch off. And I get it. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 4 tips, 4 simplicities on how to step into that life that you're meant to have, that performance, that potential. But let's talk about a couple of things first. What is intimacy? You know, the Webster's Dictionary defines intimacy quite simply, and it talks about close familiarity. Intimacy is about close familiarity. Yet when we look at the lives that we live, we're probably not that good at it. Realistically, we are not close with really anybody. We are a culmination of barriers. We are a culmination of fears. We are a nice embroiled little hot mess of distrust. And that's where we are right now. And that's perfectly okay, because intimacy is about exactly that. It's about recognizing where you are and who you are, and then looking at all the intricacies that make us ourselves. Intimacy is one of those things that we avoid. If you're talking to a sex coach, they're going to talk to you about intimacy. And the first thing you're going to do is feel these hairs on your arms and go, yeah, you know, I'm kind of not really into it. I'd like to be. It sounds fantastic. I know what I get out of it. But the whole process of actually doing it, it means I've got to know myself. It means I need to get involved. It means all these things that just, no. You know what? No. Thank you. It's a great opportunity. And I'm happy for the pleasure at the end of it. But the intimacy piece is, yeah, I'm just going to opt out of that right now. I'm going to let these barriers that I've got and these fears and this distrust that I have just mull under the surface in my unconscious mind and define my life without even knowing it. You see, that's what a performance mindset is about. It's about getting intimate with yourself. And that's going to uncover things that you do not want to see. We don't want to see the depth. We don't want to see the damage. We don't want to be a part of something that's not going the way that we think it should, because at the end of the day, we feel like we're undeserving of all of it. We didn't do anything to get in this situation. We didn't own anything for this to happen to us. And I'm going to teach you in the next 20 minutes or so exactly why all of these things are holding you back, keeping you in the place that you're in, leaving you in that space of constant dissatisfaction. Human potential is something that I am absolutely in love with. I am totally intimate with human potential. I love the concept of biohacking. I'm totally into neurology, neuroscience, biochemistry. I love how our minds and our bodies work in cohesion with each other. Joe Dispenza talks about it beautifully when he talks about the energy centers, how through our body, when everything is in alignment, we reach this superhuman status. But a lot of people don't believe that's possible. Steve Kotler, the founder of the Flow Research Collective, talks about impossible being something that we can't conceive. And because we can't conceive it, we will never achieve it. We may not even consider it. But the truth of the matter is, impossible exists as a limitation in our mind. Think about all of the things that once never happened. The sheer fact that we are standing here today talking on a live stream was impossible not so long ago. Yet here we are. If somebody hadn't thought past what was conceived to be impossible by many others, we would be able to utilize this technology the way we do. If somebody hadn't thought past the constraints of so many other people's minds, the things we take for granted today would never have happened. What we need to understand is this: your impossible is somebody else's future. So why can't it be yours? Why can't somebody else's impossible be your future? Why are we choosing to keep ourselves in this safe, hot mess? Well, the truth is there's multiple reasons. There's so many reasons. And I can totally relate to why we might want to stay in that hot mess. Because the truth of the matter is, when we are so in it, we don't even realize. I've been there myself. I remember the time when I sat there in the home that I had built with my husband at the time. On the day that it was sold and it was going to its new owners, I sat there thinking, I helped construct this place. I put everything together here that I see. The ensuite is my design. The bathroom is my design. The beautiful outdoor area is completely my design. My heart and soul is in this house, yet I have to leave it. And at that stage, I was the hot mess. But an epiphany came to me that night as I'm sitting in this house, immensely saddened by the fact that I need to leave, feeling absolutely enraged by the fact that I'm in this situation that I felt like at the time I didn't ask for and I hadn't done anything to contribute to. I became very aware of the fact that I am in fact a small piece in a bigger puzzle, and the choice that I make every day matters as to what part I'm going to be in that masterpiece. See, I had limited my potential by being stuck in the hot mess. I was so busy looking at the situation I was in that time that I forgot that there's more going on. I forgot what I had known my whole life. I'd forgot what my third grade teacher had told me. I'd forgotten all of the things that I'd been able to achieve, and instead I became a victim to circumstance. No doubt you can relate to that. That situation that becomes so big, it starts to become who you are. It starts to define everything about your life. And before you know it, you're a victim to it. I'm here to tell you that you don't have to be. You can go through situations in your life and you don't have to suffer throughout it. In fact, Peter Crone, the mindset architect, an amazing man who has a brilliant story, talks about the choices that we make in relation to our lives. And this is something that I advocate highly with my clients. It's simply this: here's reality. Your reality depends on how you feel on that day in relation to that situation. See, it can look like one thing today, and you'll look at that situation tomorrow and it will look completely different. Why, you might ask? Because the way you view it has changed. You're coming from a different mindset. You're coming from a new learning. You're coming from a better financial position, a better emotional position. Maybe you've just had a good night's sleep and suddenly that situation looks different. And there's no better example than that to utilize for the power of the mind. You know, as a Christian, we're taught to guard our minds because they are, in fact, the gates to our lives. And that's why there's so many people out there in the world right now talking to you about being conscious, about utilizing your mind. Because while this is reality today, and it looks a certain way today, here are my expectations. Now, the first thing you'll notice here is that these don't match up. Joe, why is my reality not matching my expectation? Why is this not happening? Why is there not cohesion here? Why is reality here and my expectations are here? because this is life. You see, much like when I learned, what I learned when I became single is reality does often create a crushing. We fear the crushing. We're scared. Nobody wants to go through a period of their lives where everything sucks. But here's the kicker, and here is where a performance that makes the difference. If you look at your reality and sit in the crushing of the situation that you're in, no matter what it is, and you allow your expectation to become one with that reality, you see it for what it is instead of through the lens of what it should be. You talk about exactly where you're at. And Siri's just dropped in. You talk about exactly where you're at, as opposed to what should have happened. I shouldn't be here. Statements like, I don't deserve this. This doesn't happen to people like me. What went wrong? They did it to me. He did it to me. She did it to me. No, it's called life. See, we have this expectation that life is meant to be fair. We teach our children, at least we used to, about fairness. Fairness is about everybody's treated equally. Fairness is about you get what you deserve. Fairness is about living the ultimate life. Well, I hate to burst your bubble, but fairness is unrealistic. You see, fairness, like reality, is based on perception. What one person considers to be fair, another person will consider to be an abomination. Fair, like reality, is a version of the truth. So back to the expectation. If you're sitting in the reality and your expectation is over here, and you haven't been able to form one into the other and accept them to be the same, you have a space in between. It may look this big. It may look this big. The dimension of the space is metaphorical, and it's actually irrelevant. What is relevant is there is space. What does that mean? Well, it means simply this, that your reality doesn't meet your expectations. So in that space, you have choice. A lot of people in this space here will choose suffering. They'll choose blame. They'll choose denial. They'll choose poorly. And as a result of that, you will continue to be a manifestation of this situation which didn't go according to your expectations however long ago. Could have been 5 minutes. Could have been 5 years. Perhaps you've had this as well, where you've spoken to someone and you say, hey, you're not yourself. I've noticed that for a while you've been off. Are you okay? And they say, you know that thing that happened 6 months ago with that person when they did that? You go, yeah, that was January. It's July. Well, I'm still mad. And I want to get even. And this is not fair. And this wasn't supposed to happen. You see, this person has decided that between these two gaps of reality and expectations, they're going to suffer. They've chosen to become who they are right now. A person who is, in fact, controlled by something that happened 6 months ago. What if, instead of choosing to be a victim to a situation, instead you chose to look at the reality for what it is, knowing full well that every day you look at that situation, it is going to change because it's meant to. Because if you are the same person tomorrow that you are today, you've chosen not to grow. Imagine that. Imagine living for 6 months, choosing to stay stuck in this situation. And as a result of that, build a series of negative emotions, a series of things that go on. And I need to stop saying S's kicking in. Things that go wrong. What does that mean? That means, as Joe Dispenza says, you become a victim to your history. I have an amazing thing that I've got up on my wall here. And it clearly says this: my personality creates my present personal reality. Here. This is based on how I feel, how I act, how I think, and creates my life to have a new personal reality, to have this differently, better, perhaps as the impossible. I need to change my personality. You see, I can't look at this like my friend does from 6 months ago and choose to be angry about it. I can't look at this and choose to be vengeful. I can't look at this and choose to feel like I'm a victim, because that, in fact, is changing my life. It is becoming my future. Seems insane, right? An event that happened 6 months ago is still impacting you now, and it continues to impact you into the future purely because you don't want to accept the reality of what happened. Yet I know that you, like I, have done this. I know that you, like I, know people who do. And if you're anything like me, you'll recognize the tragedy of that, because it absolutely is. Imagine living in the past and having it destroy your future. When it gets put so simply, it's unfathomable. Why would we be so stupid? Really? Do we actually think on things for 6 months, ruminate them? Do they actually become a part of who we are, a part of what we are? Yeah, they do. And this is how you know. Because every feeling that you take to bed with you the night before, if you do not make a conscious choice to bookend that before you sleep, we call it a PM routine. If you don't do that, you will take those feelings with you into your sleep. Dr. Jordan Peterson talks about the benefit of self-authoring. Self-authoring is an amazing tool. Some people talk about journaling, and journaling's great. Gratitude journaling definitely has its place. It changed me. But self-authoring has intention. Who am I? What's my reality of me right now? How intimate am I with my reality right now? How much do I know about what I think? How much do I know about why I look the way I do? How much do I know about what I'm capable of? How willing am I to experiment on something new? What are my fears, my barriers, my doubts? Where are my distrusts? Most people have no idea. Because we're so busy with life, we don't spend time thinking of ourselves. We don't go inwards. Sometimes because we're too scared. Other times because we don't know how. So let me simplify how to be a performer in this life. Number 1, know thyself. I wear a ring on this finger. It's called an aura ring. It tracks my sleep, tracks my exercise, tracks my HPV. As a performer who believes in biohacking, I want to know how I can maximize my body, how I can maximize what I can achieve. You see, I'm actually interested in reverse aging. Reverse aging. Once considered impossible, right? Now it's not. You see, biologically, I'm supposed to continue to become older. I am in a breathing, gasping, decaying frame that we call a body. But do I have to be? And what really controls that? Simple thing. This is key to everything. Like I said, guard your mind. It is the control center of your life. See, the truth of it is really simple. If you do not know yourself, you do not know what you are capable of, because you are unwilling to take the leap. And you get stuck. You get stuck in life. You get stuck with the responsibility of day to day. I'm a single parent. I get it. I know sometimes you don't want to get up and get to the gym. I'm not wanting to be up at 4:30 in the morning either, but I know the benefits that it gives to me if I start my day with a workout. I know what it does for my mind. Know yourself. Don't be scared about what you find. Carl Jung talks about the shadow. We are, in fact, both light and dark. You cannot see one without the other. Don't fear the dark parts of you. Understand them. choose whether they are useful for you or whether they need to be shifted. Because the truth is, everything is malleable. Nothing is final. Number 2, you will become the you that you invest in. Think about our friend that had the event that happened 6 months ago. Still festering, still pondering, still at effect of this event 6 months later. For 6 months, this event has caused chaos in their body, biologically, neurologically. It's sent hormones through your body of cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone. Cortisol reduces your capacity to live. It puts you into a fight or flight. It decreases your ability for joy. It impacts your ability to see clearly, and it also significantly impairs focus. See, stress, cortisol, is not your friend. Yet, here she is for 6 months. She's chosen to live in that situation. And as a result, stress has become her normal. And I can relate to her because 4 years ago, stress almost killed me. 9 days in isolation in hospital with 2 specialists looking at me saying, "You're about to die." So I get what stress does. I totally understand how it can overcome you. But back then, I didn't know better. And now, I choose differently. You will become the version of you that you invest in. Get intimate with yourself and find out, who do you want to be? Who can you be? And think impossible. Because why not you? Every day when you get up, why not me? Every day when things get hard, why not me? Why should things not go badly for me? Why should things not go wrong for me? Why should I not be able to achieve that? The truth of the matter is you will become what you choose. Your life is a series of choices. You are given agency, and very few of us use it wisely. Changing the world every day starts with you. Number 3. Admiral William McRaven gives an amazing speech on YouTube back in 2014, an ex-Navy SEAL. He talked about the simplicities of life and how now Navy SEAL training talks about some of the basics. Surprisingly, one of the first things he talked about was make your bed in the morning. Make your bed? Are you serious? These guys are learning how to go and be super soldiers, super strong, super powerful, but they're taught how to make their bed. How does one correlate with the other? The answer is simply, by making your bed, you create for yourself a discipline. It starts the day with an intention, a mindset that will carry through the rest of your day. In fact, I teach my clients to make their bed every morning. And I say, start your day by making your bed. And categorically, 100% of them have come back to me and said, "Jo, on those days that I don't make my bed, I get back to my bedroom in the afternoon or the evening, usually exhausted, and I've had a terrible day, I'm in a lousy mood, and I walk into my bedroom and all I want to do is to sink into that bed and sleep it off, and it's a mess from the day before. And then I get angry with myself thinking, why didn't I make my bed? It's such a simple thing." Well, that's the story of your life. You avoid the simple things. Simple things are actually critical to building blocks of success. Make your bed in the morning, and I guarantee you, it will change your life. Teach your children to make their bed, because what you're teaching them is you're not always going to want to do it, but sometimes doing the hard stuff is easy. My 10-year-old still doesn't like it, but every morning he makes his bed, still reluctantly. But I'm pleased to say, my 13-year-old, she's gotten with the program. She makes it every morning now. We have a little way to go with my little guy, but we'll get there. Number 4, performance thinks solutions, not problems. You may have guessed I have a loving affinity with the military. I love their discipline. I love the way they look at things. I love the way they believe that nothing is impossible. They just haven't found a way yet. And that's where this last one comes in. Performers think solutions, not problems. There's a mentality that the Navy SEALs use called point in time. And if we think back to our friend who's stuck in 6 months ago, they could do with this. Point in time simply means this: I am here now, experiencing this. I deal with it here and now as I experience it. It may be a loss, and you'll need to go through the stages of grief, and that's okay. More often than not, however, it's something that can be dealt with like that. But instead, we choose to ruminate on it. We choose to get speculative about it. We choose to keep it going and going and going. And before you know it, that small problem becomes a larger problem, and it starts to impact every other area of your life. Point in time mentality means simply this: I am here, it looks like this, I take action on the basis of what I know. Now, you might find you take action and it's not quite the right action. That's okay. Choose differently. Don't get caught up in the what if and if I, and you're not meant to spend time in that space. You are a being with agency. Use it. Don't get caught up in the speculation. Don't get caught up in the what if. Don't get caught up in the fear, the loss, the scarcity, the distrust. Don't get caught up in what you've been taught from the experience that you've had in life, because that experience is supposed to make you stronger, not more suspicious, not more distrusting. And as the topic of today is about let's get intimate, I'm going to wrap it up with one simple thing. That simple thing is this: you need to always be able to trust you. You are, in fact, the beginning and the end of you. You are in control of you, nobody else. There is no other responsibility other than to live your best life. I talk about stronger, faster, and smarter. Who am I to talk stronger, faster, and smarter? I'm a single parent in her mid-40s. Aren't I supposed to be feeling bad for myself? Aren't I supposed to be going out and complaining about the fact that my life didn't turn out the way it was supposed to? I could, sure. But what's the benefit? What am I teaching my children? What impact am I having on the world? And am I believing in the impossible if I'm a victim to my own circumstance? No. You see the crushing, the things that you don't like in your life? These are opportunities. Don't shy away from them. High performers go looking for the next problem. We look for the things that are not the way we want them in our lives yet, with a view to fix them. Why? Because for us, nothing is impossible. Impossible just means we haven't done it yet. Impossible just means we haven't found a way. We haven't put our mind to it. It doesn't mean it can't be done. It just means not yet. There is no impossible in a performance life. It is simply not yet. So as I look to wrap this up and get Dre back in, I want you to take away those 4 things. Let me recap them for you. 1, know thyself intimately. What does the back of your hand look like? How does it feel when you run your hands down your face? If you do a body scan, how are your feet right now? Know yourself. The second one, you will become the you that you invest in. If you want to be like that friend, cool. You will have a life that is constantly a victim to circumstance. And I don't know about you, but that doesn't feel stronger, faster, or smarter. Number 3, changing the world starts every day with you. Not somebody else. It's not the Prime Minister's responsibility. It's not the President's responsibility. It doesn't even belong to the Pope. It belongs to you. And if you're not out there changing the world, maybe you need to go back to number 1. And the 4th one, performance think about solutions, not problems. We have that mentality. It's a point in time. It is not going to become a part of our personality. It is not going to destroy our future. It is an opportunity, whether we like the way it presents or not. We're going to make our best of it. We're going to learn from it and grow, because that's ultimately what we're here for. Nice to see you.
Somebody call Mike Tyson because you just, nice to see you too. I was going to say somebody call Mike Tyson because you just delivered a knockout, Joe. And you know what's really funny? So
I
like
can't hear
when
you.
speakers come on, I'll be. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Sorry, Dre, I can't hear you.
That's all right. Hold on. Hold on. Testing, testing. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Joe, you still can't hear me? Can anybody else hear me? Let me know if anyone else can hear me in the chat screen. No, we can hear you both. Right.
Okay,
I'm just
so
going to type in the private.
everyone on Facebook can hear us both. So
All right. I just wanted to say thank you.
so you loved it, and thank you. Awesome. All right. Thank you so much for the opportunity, guys. Dre's going to ask where you can find me. You can find me under Joe Jackson on Facebook. I also have a group called The Mastery Movement, because I believe that to become stronger, faster, and smarter, you need to be a master at something. I have a challenge coming up in 3 weeks, and I am going to teach you how to put those 4 pillars in place to absolutely catapult your life into what you're meant to be. He said he loved it. Big love. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. Have an amazing Sunday. 4 pillars. It's all it takes. It'll change your life.
Hey, thanks, Joe. Absolutely incredible. All right, my computer's really slow. All right, there's Joe. All right, next up, we've got Alan Lau. Alan, come to the stage. Here we make some noise.
Howdy.
Hey,
How you doing,
Alan,
Dre?
can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, mate, I got you.
Amazing. How are you?
Very well, thanks.
Nice,
Enjoy the
nice. Oh,
Sunday.
man.
Nice blue skies in Sydney.
Yeah, same here in Gold Coast. So, mate, I just want to say, like, thank you for putting up your hand and agreeing to, to come on and do like many, just like share some value, share some gold. Do you need like, are you going to be using any slides or anything, or are you just going to be talking?
No, just my beautiful face.
Yes. All right, I'm going to be in the background and anything.
Beautiful. Hey, everyone. Thanks for Dre for putting on this event. It's fantastic, and I've been watching a few videos and getting a lot of inspiration from everyone. So thank you for all your expertise as well. My name's Alan. I call myself a performance specialist, but what I want to talk about today is a little bit inspired by my background in martial arts. So I have trained for 25 years in Taekwondo. I'm a 5th Dan black belt martial artist, and over that time, I've seen, dozens, if not hundreds of people go through various classes to reach black belt level and really take their expertise and confidence to that next level. I'm also a life coach and NLP practitioner. And before all that, I was a personal trainer and strength coach and worked in finance in banking in Melbourne, London, and Sydney as well. So I got a wide, varied experience. And what I want to talk about today is what I call my Velocity Empowerment Program. And it's come up because one of the issues that we have in Australia is, well, around the world, but, I live in Sydney, Australia. Domestic and sexual violence is one of those issues that we face as a society, and one that I'm highly passionate about. And I've racked my brains for many years to how I can potentially have an impact in that space. And I've got the martial arts background, and I'm really passionate about, in particular, women and girls going through and training martial arts and building their physical confidence that way. And because I'm a life coach and NLP practitioner as well, building up that emotional and mental resilience. Both of those marry up really well. And I've developed a program called Velocity Empowerment, which really helps women and girls in particular, but I want to roll it out to men and boys as well, about how they can really understand the concept of self-identity, self-worth, self-respect, and then learn 3 aspects of emotional self-defense, physical self-defense, and mental self-defense as well. So that's a little bit about kind of what I'm passionate about, what I'm going to talk about today. And the ultimate goal is to have this program rolled out to companies, universities, in particular schools, and holding retreats and workshops as well for people to participate into. So my topic today was how to protect yourself and your energy. And I mentioned before, the three main areas that I kind of think that is really important is your mental energy, your emotional energy, and physical energy as well. So when it comes to your mental energy, health, wellness, and how to protect it, I mean, we've gone through, we're entering our third year of COVID, having a global pandemic, having that kind of underlying stress, that underlying threat out there all the time. You know, that it's ended up being chronic for a lot of us now, and not to mention the physical health effects of that as well. Life, if you've got kids and you're trying to grab them and run them around and do the things that you need to do, you've got client deadlines, you've got your boss breathing down your neck, you've got traffic, you've got people cutting you off. Life is just full of stresses, and everything kind of just the speaker before talked about, cortisol and stress and the impact that has on your body and your mind in particular. We want to try and minimize those kind of aspects as well. And sometimes, a lot of the times I should say, stress occurs when it's things that are outside of your control. When it's things that are in your control, you might get annoyed and pissed off at yourself, but you actually have the means to fix it. So one of the keys to protecting your mental energy is to focus on the things you can control. When it comes to things like a global pandemic and health issues being out there, you can't control what other people are doing with their body and their movements. But what you can is, get vaccinated, wear your mask, minimize the time that you spend outdoors in crowded places. Those are the things you can control. And when you're in control of those things, COVID becomes a little bit less of a stress. Same with global issues. You might get stressed about what's happening overseas. You might get stressed about, what potentially could happen in Australia. But there's no point stressing about that if there's actually nothing that you can do to control it. So focus on your own little bubble, on your own little environment and what you can do. And that's really going to try and protect the energy that you can spend. What they would usually spend externally, you can focus on internally as well. So have a little bit of an audit of your typical day or week. What are some of your triggers? A key thing that I talk about with my clients is if you're feeling stressed all the time, you're going to feel stressed the next week and the week after that as well. Constantly being stressed is going to really, really overwhelm you. But if you can slowly identify over time incidences where you are getting stressed, and you can either put in ways to avoid them, minimize them, or communicate with the people who are stressing you, how to reduce those incidences, and hopefully communicate with them in a way that they're open to the feedback. If they're not, if they're toxic, if they push back, if they don't communicate back to you in the way that you want, that's another signal as well for you to be like, well, maybe I need to minimize my time with that person, or maybe cut them out of your life completely when it comes to kind of toxic relationships. I've had clients where, even though I've started health coaching with them, we look at what's important to them and what their values are. A toxic work environment, not being respected, their clients aren't getting treated properly by their team in the way that they want. They end up leaving the company, starting a new job. Or I've had one client who started her own law firm because she really didn't like the way that she was treated and the way that her company was treated. So that was a really great way for her to protect her mental energy in that sense. There's a balance of giving and receiving. When you're feeling frustrated and stressed and pissed off, it's because you're giving a lot of your energy out externally and you're not receiving energy back for yourself. So again, there's some self-responsibility where, things called self-care, where you're taking care of your own mental health and wellness. Go get a massage, go do all those things, do a yoga session, do all those things to kind of mentally recharge. But if you're giving all your energy out to, say, your family or to your friends or to your colleagues, and you're not receiving energy back, that imbalance can cause a drain in your energy as well. So be really conscious of where you're giving out a lot of energy, but where you're not receiving it back as well. And a lot of that comes down to your personal patterns as well. If you've grown up just giving and people pleasing and wanting to do well by others, and not in the habit of asking for help and not wanting to receive, that's going to create a massive imbalance in your life as well. So that's one thing to really, really be aware of. So to bring it back as an analogy in martial arts, there are a lot of students. The school that I teach in is a very traditional class. where we don't do competitions, we don't do tournaments. It's not about competing against other people and being better than them, because there's always going to be, again, those external variables. Someone's going to be taller than you, someone's going to have longer legs than you, they're going to be more naturally skilled or gifted than you. If you focus on those things, you're never going to be satisfied with what you can do in your training. You're always going to want to compare yourself to others. What you can control is how you turn up to training, how you focus on yourself. If you're not that flexible, focus on increasing your flexibility. If there's techniques that you're not happy about, focus and train on those. Once you start focusing on what you can do to improve yourself and not focus on those external factors, I've noticed a lot of students, their training goes to that next level. So that's really powerful. Take that analogy and put it into your life. Where can you improve all those little aspects for yourself and try to shut out everything out externally? When it comes to your emotional energy and protection, having a really whole sense of yourself is really, really powerful. If you're one of those people that feels like you always need to be in a relationship to feel valued, or you always need to be doing something for someone to feel valued, it's because you don't have enough value or respect for yourself. And again, we go back to a lot of patterns from childhood, from the way that you've been treated by your parents, from loved one, friends, stuff like that. Trying to build an identity that you're really comfortable with who you are and what you have to offer, and that you love yourself for it, and that you're worth all that time and effort and care that you put into yourself. That's a really powerful way of protecting your emotional energy, so that you really feel confident in who you are and what you have to offer. One powerful tool that I do with my clients is finding out what your top 5 values are. So for me, for example, like respect and freedom, integrity, those kinds of things are really powerful to me. And if I find that before I was conscious of those, I would get really annoyed with people who would not respect my time or not respect themselves. And I wouldn't really understand why. And it's because every time I interacted with them, they were breaching some of my values. And that's a really powerful tool for you to realize, okay, what's really important to me? How are those values being breached? And what can I do to live those values every day? So really look into yourself. 3 to 5 really high value, like your top 3 values in life. What are those? And what actions do you need to take to protect them? So for me, for example, respect is a big one for me, which means that, I will take care of my health, which I'll touch on a little bit when it comes to physical health and energy in a little bit. But respect, I will respect my time. I will respect other people's time. What I will do is treat people with courtesy and respect. And when other people don't treat me with respect, I find that a little bit triggering as well. And then you want to set boundaries around that. Well, okay, cool. Well, how do I respect other people? Cool. I'm always going to address them by their name. I'm always going to find out a little bit more about them rather than just meet them and move on. I'm always going to make a little bit more effort to show them the respect that they deserve. And then how do you protect that? Well, what boundaries do you need to put in place to make sure that they're not being breached, and when can you recognize that they are? So when you do all of those things, so to bring it back to kind of the domestic family violence, sexual violence, a lot of those tools, the perpetrators, what the tools that they use is eroding the sense of self, the sense of respect and love and integrity that you have for yourself, and chipping away at your identity. And things like love bombing, gaslighting, various forms of emotional abuse, they all take place when the victim doesn't have a true sense of self. So that's a really powerful platform, or a really powerful factor that I want to instill in people when they go through the Velocity Empowerment program. Those kinds of, I remember I did a kind of responding and acting in domestic violence situations. A lot of us kind of see, we all understand physical abuse is domestic violence, domestic abuse, but there's a whole range of things that perpetrators can do to that actually come under domestic family violence, and that emotional abuse and all that kind of stuff really comes into it. So that's really powerful. Having a sense of emotional energy and emotional self is really, really powerful. To bring it back to kind of, I'm going to use Taekwondo as the underlying analogy here. When you're sparring or doing self-defense in Taekwondo, if you kind of lose your sense of ego and you get popped in the face or kicked in the tummy, and you just get angry and really emotional, you don't perform to your best in that sparring environment. You take too many risks. You end up trying to over-attack, and you get exposed, and your guard starts coming down. That's when you get hurt. When you lose your sense of self and confidence in yourself, that's when you're going to get hurt. When you start comparing yourself to others, and you're like, oh, why can't I do this as well as that other person? And start criticizing yourself and thinking that you're less than. That's very dangerous for you to be in, because that comparison can go through a lot of other areas in your life, like relationships, like work. If you've got siblings, why am I treated different or worse than my siblings? If you're in your friends group, how come I don't get invited to these events, but they do? When you start comparing and you're leaking that emotional energy, that becomes quite weakening for you as well. The third area I want to talk about is physical energy. So I'll take some water. I think being healthy is a true sense of self-respect and worth. I'm not going to go too much into this because I've got a whole personal training and nutrition coaching background, and I don't want to waste too much time on that. But when you're your healthier self, that's your truest reflection of your worth. If you're worth eating properly, if you're worth sleeping properly, if you're worth working out or doing whatever exercise you want to do, looking good and feeling good, that's a reflection of you deserving to be your best self. So it might take time to get there, but I think that's something, if you want to really try and dig into that self-respect and self-worth, start with yourself. Like I said, with that, from the mental side of things, don't worry about what other people are doing. Don't compare yourself to the latest Instagram influencer, or think about, I need to do this diet, or my friend's just done this workout, I need to do that. Find what works for you, and really go down that path for yourself. Physical energy and protection. So we're not hermits living in a cave. We live in a household. We have friends. We have a workplace. Creating a safe and supportive environment for yourself is really, really important. Again, that goes back to the domestic family violence situation. If you're living at home and your parents or siblings are abusive, you're living at home and your domestic partner is abusive, that's a clear sign that that's not a safe and supportive environment for you to be in. And so there's experts who you can reach out to try and solve that issue. Your surrounding influences, this weekend you've got 100 coaches sharing their expertise. You've got mentors that you've got in your life. You've got other coaches in your life. People who love and respect you. And when we've all started working with a client, and they're like, oh, I'm not really sure whether I can do this. Well, I believe that you can do this. So borrow my belief until you believe in yourself. So surround yourself with people who believe in you. When it comes to the stages of physical self-defense and protecting your energy, so think of yourself kind of walking down the street in a dark alley, or it's getting a little bit dark. Widening your perception and awareness and being open to the world is really powerful. So it's not being head down on your phone or being too focused on the latest Audible book or whatever it is. It's about chin up, chest up, eyes out to the world, and being aware of what's happening. To go back to example of Taekwondo, I've trained for 25 years. When I'm sparring someone, I'm not consciously looking for what they're doing. You get to the point where you can just perceive that they're about to move, or they're about to throw some kick, or they're about to punch or block. You can perceive all that unconsciously because you're actually training for it, but B, you're aware and you've opened up your periphery looking for these things. You want to do that out in the real world as well. Is not just be focused in your bubble, but actually look out to the world and widen your view, where you can see, oh, is that person looking a little bit dodgy? What are those group of kids doing? What's that loud noise? All these kinds of things we want to be really aware of. Training in martial arts, loving and caring for yourself, knowing what your self-worth is, will build your confidence and energy, and that will make you stand tall and feel tall. You see the bullies in the school, they will pick on the small kid who's just kind of hunched down over the book in the corner. They're not going to pick on the person who is tall and strong and has a really great posture and really great energy. So you want to do that in the real world as well. And it's not just in self-defense, but in the corporate world, or in the coaching world, or all these things. You want to have that internal confidence and exude that energy as well. When it does come down to it, if you are ending up in a self-defense situation where you need to protect yourself, you want to be loud and draw attention to you. And in our society, we're kind of, you want to be quiet and polite and not make noise and not make waves. And again, the great thing about martial arts and self-defense is being loud and being strong is really, really powerful and encouraged. So yelling, screaming, the loud key up that you hear in the martial arts, be loud and draw attention to yourself. And that's going to give you a little bit of power and self-confidence as well. Learning to protect your physical space. So this can be, again, I want to talk about in a self-defense context, but it could be if you're just in a bar and someone comes up and talks to you, again, rather than closing off your profile and letting them kind of invade your personal space, being a little bit bigger. The ladies will give you permission to man spread and take up the space. And if someone comes into your space, you can kind of be like, look, I don't want you in here. You can see this is the bubble of energy that I'm giving out. And then, if that doesn't dissuade them, using the skills that you learn in martial arts and defending yourself physically is really, really powerful. The most important thing is to escape by any means necessary, whether that's just removing yourself from the situation or kicking them in the nuts and running away. Those are the kinds of things that are really powerful to protect your physical energy, from a metaphorical sense. I'm talking about this in conversations with someone's coming up to you, or if you just want to, you're speaking on a stage. All these things you want to project your physical energy as well. But as I said at the start, my passion is self-defense for women and girls, to try and instill this in them, giving them permission to be loud, to be strong, to be big is really, really powerful. And again, to go back to taekwondo training or physical self-defense training, the whole point of training, the whole point of drills, the whole point of coaches in here, this is probably not your first time speaking in front of the camera, but you've done it hundreds, if not thousands of times. You've dealt with clients on and off, face to face all the time as well. It's about going from conscious reaction, like, okay, cool, what am I going to say next? What am I going to do next? To just doing it. And that's where physical practice and training in anything, again, my context is self-defense and martial arts, but any sport, any skill, any activity, the more you practice it, the more you do it, you're going to go to unconscious reaction and go straight to the point, rather than freezing and go, oh, what's going on? And again, to go back to the bullying side of things, or domestic violence situation, any kind of uncertainty, any kind of hesitation is a red flag to a bully. They're just going to use that freezing that you have to really take that power position. So those are the three key areas that I wanted to talk about. So just to recap, protecting your mental energy and protecting your mental energy and self. So by controlling the things that you can control, and those things that are external, yes, you can think about them, but don't worry about them. Don't lose sleep over them. Think about bigger ways that you can impact on them in a positive sense, but not ways that are going to take away from your own energy. The second one was emotional energy. So creating a whole sense of self. So your self-respect, self-worth, self-love, ways that you can love yourself and take care of yourself, being really powerful. And then your physical energy protection. So being strong and fit, eating well, sleeping well. I went to the next level and literally talked about physical protection, just because that's the space that I'm in and that's what I'm passionate about. But just being healthy, being strong, being confident, having a tall posture, not hunched over from years of working on a laptop or a phone, but actually consciously working on your posture and your breathing, and really physically, your physical state is really powerful. So those are three areas. Don't feel frustrated or guilty when you actually want to do something for yourself. When we fly, the airlines tell you if the oxygen mask drops down, put your mask on before helping others. You can't. There's a reason that they do that. So we can't help others if we can't help ourselves first. So that pretty much brings me to the end of my presentation. If you're interested in finding more about the Velocity Empowerment Program and how you can get involved, contact me on LinkedIn. My name's Alan Lau, Performance Specialist. I'm the only one there that's a performance specialist. And if you're in Sydney, come along to my taekwondo class. I run that in Ultimo, Sydney. So that's me. Let me know if you've got any questions, Ray.
Alan, that was fire, absolute fire. I thought it was just me, but there was it was a bit crackly when you were speaking. I think maybe a little bit of feedback. However, I loved what you said about respect, and I love the association with like martial arts. And I don't want any trouble. Definitely don't want any trouble with you.
I'm a lover, not a
what
fighter.
was the
Don't
other thing
worry.
you said?
This face is too
But there was
pretty.
just
My body, I don't like. But
so
the funny thing is, like, even though I've trained martial arts for 25, like, I really don't like pain. So I'm very good at not getting hit.
yeah.
And that's one of those things, you want to move away from your pain points. I'm like, cool. I need to get really good at martial arts because I don't want to get hurt.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Mate, you had so much gold in there. So I'm definitely gonna have to watch it back because everything was just on point. All right, so we've got a couple of minutes. Let me ask you a couple of questions. You've said how people can get hold of you. So the best way is on LinkedIn.
Yep.
And to finish off, do you have, like maybe a quote, something inspirational, something motivational, or even a dad joke, something to finish on?
Good one. I didn't have one prepared, but what I will say, so I'm trying to think of what I'll say to my Taekwondo students. Yeah, I guess from my perspective, when it comes to, from my perspective, for training, Taekwondo training, but this applies to anything in life. So I run quad classes twice a week, and my students will say, "Oh, should I come, twice a week, or just is once a week okay? Or if I miss a class, is that going to be okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine. Like you're an adult, you can do whatever you want. But if you want to progress in Taekwondo and therefore anything in life, if you come once a week, you're going to get linear progression. You're going to get, you'll learn a little bit, you'll forget it.
Yeah.
Next week you'll learn it again. You might learn a few new things and then you'll forget it. And then next week you'll, same again. Whereas if you're doing it twice a week or with anything in like 3, 4, 5 times a week, you learn it. You might forget a little bit, but you'll learn more the next week. You might forget. I've only got a few days in between classes, and then you'll learn again. And your progression just by doing one extra class a week is going to be exponential, as opposed to once a week where it's going to be quite a linear progression. You might take longer to get. You'll eventually get there, but you'll take longer. So my lesson in that would be just, if you're going to do something and really immerse yourself in it, do it as many times as you can, just to become an expert in it.
Mate, that was even more gold. So I just want to say massive thank you to you for like coming on board, like supporting, donating, contributing, and like that was absolutely fire. Like so much gold in there. So enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'll reach out to you very soon.
Awesome.
And mate, you're an absolute legend. So thank you.
Yep, same to you. Thanks for putting on this event, mate.
You are welcome. All right, speak to you soon.
Cool. Cheers.
All right, thanks, Alan. All right, next up we have, all right, just on time, look at that, Elizabeth SOMBOUN, one of my favorite people. This woman, this incredible human, extremely talented. I think she wrote a book I know, like in something ridiculous in, was it 4 days or 2 days, or which is just like crazy. And like she works incredibly hard, talented, gifted at so many things. So without any further ado, let's give a big, massive, humongous welcome to Elizabeth. Hey, how are you?
Hey, happy birthday. What a way to celebrate. Oh my gosh. Like, this is so awesome. Happy birthday. Like, are you just having the biggest birthday bash ever? Like, how awesome is this?
I know, I can't believe like people remembered, even though I've been telling everyone every day. It's my birthday. And do you know what? When Alan like was on, like someone came to the door, and one of my friends, I won't shut it, I can't drop it. Yeah, she got me a birthday cake and like
oh wow!
Yeah.
Awesome sauce. That's so awesome. That is so awesome.
No, I wasn't expecting anything. Anyway, not about me. This is about the children, the charity, the
Yes,
coaches.
what an
It's
awesome way to raise funds for such incredible families and for such awesome causes. I'm so excited to be a part of this. Thank you so much for all of your hard work, for all of your dedication, and sending love to the families of this amazing event. Mwah.
well, yeah, thank you. All right. So what are you going to be talking about today?
I am going to be talking about a couple of things. So I want to talk about a little bit about my story and what I'm doing. And so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Elizabeth SOMBOUN. I was sexually trafficked at the age of 3 to the age of 4. I was adopted in 5. And like I was in 5 families, like total. I have 3 different birth certificates. I was tortured for a little while. I went through a cult. My parents kidnapped my children out of that cult to other people that were involved. And so I've had quite a life, a very exciting life, and I healed. And God was so amazing. I'm going to tell you that your purpose for this earth, He is going to put you inside of what you need to make it. So when I was 17, I was living in a church. I was volunteering. I was putting on revivals. I was setting up courses for kids. I was doing all of this writing stuff. I was writing plays. I was writing scripts. I was just doing it all. And I started writing books. The very first book I wrote was when one of my mothers was dying of cancer. I wanted her to see me published. I wrote an entire children's novel in a month. Got it edited. I edited it myself. I sent it to the publisher. It got accepted. And she literally got to see that, I believe, a month before she died in December of 2012. A year and a half ago, I went through a really horrendous scam, and I was feeling extremely anxious. I was feeling angry. And so I wrote my book, Elevators of My Life, which won the 2021 Impact Award. I was so impressed with that. And I decided that I had this amazing gift. So through a series of events, working with Quilting Power, which is this phenomenal group of women who do a whole bunch of things for women who have gone through trauma, this amazing guy approached me and he's like, I really want you working with these women. And he's like, I want you to be a part of that. And so I was doing all of the logo designs. I was doing all of the work for that. And he said, wow, oh my gosh, you are brilliant. I want you to write courses for other people that I know. And then overnight, he literally became my agent. And so what I do now is I do courses for coaches. I already have 4 clients that I have signed up within this month. By the beginning of next year to mid-November, I will be making around 10K a month. He put me on this platform and I write. That's what I do. So I got sort of diagnosed with Asperger's, and I found out that my savant is writing. And so I write stuff in my sleep. And so this is what I do. So if you are a coach and you are struggling with coming up with courses, if you're struggling with coming up with hooks for your live videos, if you're having a hard time coming up with scripts, if you're needing ebooks, if you're struggling with Instagram posts, if you're struggling with any of that, I'm officially now the guru for that. And I have been so impressed. In 1 month, in about 3 months, I've done a year's worth of work for one client. So I am super, I cannot believe I said that. Yes, it is true. And so I've just become this phenomenal, gifted person. But, this is the thing. I could have said, you know what, this isn't for me. I could have used all of the excuses in the book for why I didn't succeed. I could have quit so many times throughout this entire process. I could have just been like, you know what, I was born white trash, I'm going to die white trash, and that's the thing. And I could have just kept those labels with me. But instead I wrote. So if you are struggling in your business, you either have 2 choices. You can either rise from the ashes or you can stay stuck where you are. But there's really no in between. And so I'm encouraging you today to look at your life and be like, you know what, this is what I deserve. This is who I am. I'm going to stand in my power. I'm not going to take any, malarkey from people, and I'm just going to do it. because life, you don't get second chances at life. This is it. And I have, somehow managed to, look at other people that are giants, that had the faith, that had the joy, that had it all together. And I'm like, that's what I wanted. And I mirrored that for a good 6 years to get here. And this is the thing, you're not going to just get into a business. You have to deal with all of your trauma first. And you know what? I get so tired of people saying, well, I don't feel like it. Well, it's a matter of life and death. You may not like the process of healing, but you just have to go up and do it. It took me a good 12 years to fully heal. 8 hours driving back and forth to my counseling appointment for a 2-hour appointment. And that was twice a week. And I did that for 4 years. I checked myself into a PTSD rehab for 3.5 months. I have done hard stuff to get where I am. And it doesn't happen by accident. It happens on purpose, for a purpose, because you are that purpose. So I want you to know that you can do it. It may seem like it's impossible, but here I am. And I ended up getting an agent coincidentally. I don't want to say that I manifested it. I think it was more like he manifested me because he needed a genius writer. So I think it was more he manifested me. And he was like, that's it. I'm going to be your agent. I'm just going to market you. And I've just been able to work with incredible world changers and incredible business people. And so and I've worked with people that are in Richmond Din's P, I think, or PT1 or something like that. His massive programs, I've actually helped clients do that. So you actually know some of the people that I've worked with. And it has just been an amazing journey. And I've only been doing it for 3 months and I'm already like playing in the big leagues. So I just want to like chase your dream. So if you are curious about how to get a hold of me, you can email me at eslifecoach@yahoo.com. You can follow me on WhatsApp at 548-883-0132. So yeah, it's just an exciting thing. So I guess that's it. Back to you, Dre. I have nothing else to say.
Okay. That's cool. What we'll do, thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. I am just gonna put the graphics back on. Boom, shake the room, and we'll do a little bit of Q&A. So if anyone is watching and would like to ask Elizabeth any questions at all, then please let us know. My questions. So I've probably got a range of sort of like personal and professional. I love having sort of those conversations with you. I love your attitude on life, and it's yeah, like the journey that you've had and what you've been through, and how you look at life and how you see the best in everybody. I love that. All right, let's get professional. So with the clients that you see, what are those common sort of problems, frustrations, challenges?
So I find that a lot of clients that come to me is I find that a lot of coaches are really good at coaching, but they don't necessarily have the gift to write. And there's 2 different gifts that come with that, because there's like a coaching ability and then there's also the writing ability. And I find that trying to put it down on paper can be a little bit tricky for coaches, and trying to find what works in their medium. So one of the things that I'm also very, very good with is I'm sort of Google. I am like a Google machine. And so there's a lot of different topics that I happen to already know about. So there's not too many topics that I cannot put energy and life behind and make people crave. So I will give you an example. I am not a sex expert at all. I'm really not, okay? And the whole last 3 months I've been working with a client, and that's exactly what he is. He's a sex expert. He is the sex guru of all gurus. And I pretty much put his entire program together. And he was like, how the heck did you do this? And I'm like, well, you gave me the briefing and I followed the brief. And he's like, wow, this writing is amazing. And so it's just about playing with words and being a wordsmith and knowing how to attract people with the sexiness of your product. And that's how it sells.
I love that. All right. And let's talk about your your approach to life and like your mindset.
Yes.
Can you talk to us about how you, I guess, have come from like a dark place, you've reframed it, where most people, I believe,
Mhm.
wouldn't be able to withstand what you've been through, because it's been a lot, and just how you got just that love and light for everyone. Yeah, can you talk us through that? That's because I think that's like amazing, and I can't get my
I
head around
think
that.
the biggest thing, I guess it boils down to how much do you want freedom? Because it doesn't take a lot of courage to hate someone, but to help, you have to put yourself in their shoes and you have to see the world from their perspective and understand that the people that hurt you, they've been hurt themselves. And when you put it in that perspective, it'll break you. And I guess that breaking is the constructs of severe forgiveness. And I've only gotten here because I've been able to forgive the hardest stuff that most people would never, ever have to imagine forgiving. And I've just been able to move past it because I don't want to cripple other people. And I always want to be the hero in everybody's story. And I never want to be the villain. And so, with that mindset, I want to change the world every single day that I wake up because I know how bad it hurts to be completely broken, completely vulnerable, completely, devoid of love. And so, my mission is for people to feel that because that's the only way that the world can change. And so that's how I get through what I've been through.
Just like wow, 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 wow. Elizabeth, what's the best way for people to contact you?
So the best way is through either Facebook, which is Elizabeth Somboun, SOMBOUN, or they can contact me through my email, which is eslifecoach@yahoo.com, or they can reach me on WhatsApp at 548-883-0132.
Awesome. And what's on the cards for you? What's next?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. There's so many things. There's so many things that are on my agenda. I have people that are reaching me from all the way from Australia to do courses. They're wanting, to fly me, to Hawaii to celebrate their successes. Like there is just so much in store for me and I just cannot wait to see what life has in store for me. I'm like, yes, I'm ready. I'm jumping in. I'm so jumping in.
I love that. All right. So, do you have any like final words? Is there anything that you want to like leave us with, or like anything that you want to say at all?
I guess, chase your dream, chase your purpose, and don't let the hate, don't let the naysayers, don't let the I can't, don't let the why, don't let, the birthplace, the whatever stop you. You are unstoppable. You are a machine. You are a demon slayer. You are the light bringer. You are the, you're the champion of all champions, and chase that and chase your purpose with all your heart, and you're going to get there and you're going to win and you're going to be big and you're going to be a giant and people are going to see you and nothing that you come across can be unstoppable.
I love that. I love that. Well, wait a minute. I just want to sneak in like one last last question. So,
Yes.
like, what do you do? So when, like with what we do, like life is an emotional roller coaster, especially like business. It's ups, it's downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. So how do you sort of pick yourself up when, say, something doesn't go your way, and then how do you pick yourself up, carry on, and like what sort of steps or measures do you take to be like, I'm getting back on that horse?
I think for me, that's a really good question, by the way. I always think of it like I watch a lot of documentaries on the Holocaust, and documentaries of people that live in like the in the trenches of like third world poverty, and I always think to myself, you know, I always try to root myself in thankfulness and joy. And I have like, I go through a list of things that I'm thankful for. And through that, I have really been overcome a lot. And I find joy in stupid stuff, whether it's a cup of coffee, whether it's the fact that I have running water, whether it's the fact that eating notebooks tonight from the, you know, from the pound shop. It's just these little things that bring me so much joy. And I guess one of the other things too is I really have like, I make ceremony out of stupid stuff. So if I have a great day, I like celebrate, whether it's with ice cream or whether it's with, you know, a long bath or what, you know what I mean? I'm always celebrating my wins. And so when I have like, I guess because I celebrate stupid stuff and I'm a kid, like I'm a big kid in that sense, I think that,
yeah.
is that okay to be a big kid? I'm just a big kid. And so it's always like, you know, whether it's, you know, waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, like I did yesterday to watch a sunrise and just knowing that I'm safe, knowing that I'm going to be okay, knowing that, you know, I have this amazing day that's a blank slate in front of me. That is such a gift. And people, I think for me, I feel kind of bad because I think maybe it's because I've been through so much that I take joy in such stupid and simple things. And I think that a lot of people can't understand that because you know, I was born in a shack. You know, I was born like even like people that have seen where I was like born, they're like, I've seen sheds that are in better condition than what you were born into. And I think just, you know, living off of dog food and, you know, being burned and tortured, I think that there's just this mentality of, you know what, it's never going to be that bad again. Even on my deathbed, it's never going to be that bad again. And it's like, okay, if it's not going to be that bad, I have a lot to be thankful for. And I think having those extremes has really just allowed this like unfathomable joy just to bubble over. But I think that it's hard for other people to understand because they don't know the worst of the worst. But when you've been to the worst of the worst, you can see the best of the best. And I live for the best of like, just like, you know, pure excitement. I mean, just this moment right now, for me to be sitting here and being a part of this, it's a miracle. Like for me, it's a miracle because so many people are like, no, you're going to be dead before I even, you know, get here. And people don't appreciate the small things. You know, they're always looking for the Everest, but the thing is life. Getting up in the morning and just having air and just being able to walk and just being able to, you know, say to your kids, I love you. It's these really simplistic moments that actually propel us into greatness. And it's not just the promotion. It's the journey of getting that promotion that really counts. But we miss it, I think, sometimes along the way, you know?
Yeah, that was beautifully said. So just want to say a massive, huge thank you to you for being a big supporter as well, and like the messages, like being a great friend, being a great listener. Because I know we've spoken quite a few times, and I've shared like some stuff, yeah, which is going on, and for being you, the attitude that you have, attitude of gratitude, and yeah, just the way that you look at life. It's yeah, really inspiring. And also for being part of this, what we've created, which is just like phenomenal, like
I'm
raising
so
money.
proud of you. What an amazing event. And for the coaches that, you know, have joined, I'm in North America, so the time zone is like really crazy, but I just want to congratulate all of the coaches that said yes and that have donated. I send you love and tell everybody else I said hi and just thank you for the opportunity. Joy, you have a wonderful night.
I will do. All right, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll
All
catch you
right.
later.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, that was awesome, Elizabeth. All right, so what's happened is so one Paul, and also the other one from Brett. So congratulations, that's from Leanne. Love you, Leanne. And then, so Leslie Rochelle was supposed to be up next. However, I think she's got COVID or she's unwell. So we've got half an hour spare. So what I might do is I'm just going to talk a little bit about Brett and Paul and just my relationship with them. And I reckon we should probably have like maybe a break so everyone can grab a cup of tea, some bickies, and a toilet break, and then we'll get back into it with Mr. William Joseph. So I've been looking forward to seeing this guy because I don't know him too well, but I know that what he is about to deliver is going to be awesome. Right, so let me play these videos and then we will get to it. So the first one I will play will be Holly. All right, so that was Brett's daughter, Holly. So Holly has Rett syndrome, which is a genetic disorder. Currently, it's an incurable disease. However, the experts are close to finding a cure. Once they do, then that will open up the doors to cure other diseases, similar to Angelman syndrome, which is what Paul Yeo's daughter has. And his daughter is named Sophie, so I'm just going to play her video now.
Come on, Sophie. All around the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel. The monkey thought she was all in blood. Up goes the weasel. All around the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel. The monkey thought she was all in blood. Up goes the weasel. Good girl.
Come on, come inside. That's right, you need to walk yourself.
Gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Good girl. Row your boat gently down the stream.
Say hi to it.
Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
And I love watching that last clip of Sophie walking. I'm just going to quickly just talk about my relationship with Brett and Paul. So I was running a challenge, would have been, I think maybe April of this year. And for the challenge, like people have to donate like 17 to a charity of their choice. And I remember Brett sent me a message just saying, hey, I'm going to donate to this charity, Rett syndrome. So all it was really, when he sent me the message, because I had sort of so many people to see, I just really kind of just looked at the message, seen that he'd donated, because everyone was sending me a screenshot, and sort of didn't think anything of it. Went to go and get chips with chicken salt, which were delicious. And as I was walking back, Brett sent me like another message saying, Dre, if you would have asked me to donate $1,000, then I would have done that. And I was like, oh, that's really interesting. And then he sent me another message saying, oh, actually, I would, if you would have asked me to donate, you know, like all the money in the world, then I would have done that. I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. And then I was like, oh, why would you do that? And he said, look, it's because of my daughter's like charity. And I was like, oh, can you send me some information on it? And very ignorant of me, he'd already sent the information, but I was only looking for one thing, so I just browsed that. I read like all about it, and he's been phenomenal at raising like funds for Holly. Yeah, it's just a really special thing. It's like he's a nice guy with the biggest heart, and yeah, just like once again another person where I just love his attitude, and you know, he's trying to make a difference. So that's my relationship with Brett. And with Mr. Yeo, with Paul, love this guy to bits. So when I joined P1, so P1.1 is a mastermind, and there's 100 coaches in there. And I joined at the end of January, and I caught up with Paul. So what I love about Point One is that they call it the eighth wonder, which is a community. So you can basically almost go to anyone and just catch up, and they'll give you some advice. You know, I've like I've got connection issues, so hopefully everyone can see me, hear me. So yeah, normally, you know, like people just talk about business, and then when I spoke to Paul, he just like opened up and was just so open, like, honest and vulnerable, just about so many like different things that were going on in his life and that have gone on in his life. And like for me, like when I meet someone, I guess it's probably pretty surface level. So I keep a lot in until I really get to know someone, and then I guess I'm a lot more open. So what Paul has taught me is, you know, to lead with like vulnerability, and I think that's just so important. So man, absolutely love Paul like to bits. On a Wednesday, he runs a wealth management like class, like training with lots of different like topics. So he's got a private group. Really switched on, really nice guy, really giving as well. And we crew NLP together. And in his business, he had a phenomenal. I won't say the amount that he got, but just a phenomenal month, and what most people in, I'd probably say, the world wouldn't even get in like a year or something like that. So lots of love to you, Paul, if you are tuned in, and also to you, Brett. All right, it's 11 o'clock now. So what we will do is because Leslie Rochelle, she was supposed to be up, but she's unwell. So we'll take a break for maybe 15, 20 minutes. I'll come back and then I'll introduce Mr. William Joseph. So I'm really looking forward to him and what he's going to be talking about. So I know that that's going to be fun. It's going to be fire. So all right, I'm just going to play some videos in the background, and I've got a message here. Paul, thank you, mate. So much love for you. All right. So you guys grab yourselves a cup of tea, cup of coffee, some bickies, and I'll see you back in for about 15, 20 minutes.
Finally got an interview for the dream job, and after working with him, I got it, and it was simple and it was easy.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed the journey.
So has it helped? Yes, it absolutely has. It's definitely helped in knowing the market a lot better and knowing how to how to put myself out there. Like, I would never ever have touched my LinkedIn ever. I didn't see LinkedIn as a valuable resource at all. So in saying that, it already has proven to be.
It's what I say. I think you guys are great and change people's lives, and it makes a lot of difference.
You deliver at a very high level.
It was really enjoyable. You learn a lot. It was really easy going step by step.
Questions before I do. So that was, I think session 5, the interview session, if you ask me, was my favorite out of all the other 6 sessions.
So it's not only helped me in my personal branding, but it's helped me now on the business side, where I feel very, very capable to go into, you know.
Hey, super legends, superheroes, and megastars, welcome back to Hot Hire 6 and 7 figure coaches on fire. We are doing 100 mini masterclasses with coaches all around the world. So we've got coaches who are hitting 7 figures, coaches who are doing 6 figures, coaches that are on their way to doing 6 figures, and coaches that are just starting out. So we've got an incredible lineup, and I'm just so grateful and appreciative of all the coaches that have taken part, donated money, and we've also raised a little bit more money. And I'd wish, or I hope, that we can raise even more by the time that we finish tonight. What I'm thinking that I'm going to do is, with each of the sessions, putting those into a little series, and also speaking to the coaches to see if they'll donate, you know, like maybe some resources, like ebooks, guides, checklists, things like that. And then if there's any way that we can keep the funding going, keeping it open, so when anyone like donates, then they can basically get a pack of these so 100 mini, actually probably 99 mini masterclasses, and with just loads of resources. I think that would be like really valuable. All right, guys, we've got probably about 5 minutes until we have William Joseph on, and I'm just really curious about what he's going to talk about. So his question, his title was, if I gave you $1 million client, would you take it? Initially, I'm thinking, why not? But there's got to be some sort of twist. So I'm excited to see where that goes. If you guys want to ask me any questions for the next couple of minutes, please feel free. And you can ask me like anything at all. You could even, you know, I think it's someone's birthday. Not too sure who that might be. It's my birthday. So yeah, just really appreciative of all the love and all the messages that people have given me over the past like couple of days. It means a lot, and it's just a special thing, like all of us like coming together to create this as well. So ask me anything, or if you've got any ideas on how this can be improved next time, please let me know. So I'm thinking maybe doing something again in December, or maybe this time like year. So and all right. Don't want to tell any dad jokes. I could. All right, so for anyone that's just tuning in now, I'll just give you a bit more sort of background around what this is. So we're raising money for 2 charities. So one is Rett syndrome, which is a genetic disorder. So I believe her name is Dr. Wendy. So she's been working on a cure. So it's an incurable disease. However, Wendy and her colleagues, a team of experts, are close to finding a cure. So once they do, then that's going to open up the doors to cure other diseases such as Angelman syndrome, which is what Paul's daughter Sophie has. And yeah, it's just been really cool at all. All right. Nobody's got any questions? No. All right. So I'm just waiting for William Joseph to get here. So instead of me rambling, I'm probably going to play 1 or 2 of their videos again. And by that time, yes, we're getting closer every day to love that. Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Brett. All right, how old am I today? We'll go with 24. We'll go with 24. Or if you could turn that around, then yeah. So getting old. I don't feel old, right? Still feel like a young kid at heart. All right, so what I'll do, I'm going to play 3 minutes. I'm going to play one of the videos. We'll see if William will be in the background, and if he is, then we'll get him to come out and then do his mini masterclass. And if not, I will chase him up. So let's play that video, and all right, we'll go with Holly.
Come on, Sophie. All around the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel. The monkey thought was all in fun. Up goes the weasel. All around the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel. The monkey thought was all in fun. Up goes the weasel.
Girl.
Come on, let me see that. Right.
Right, so still waiting on William. What I will do, I'm going to show you my birthday cake. So my mate Aisha sent me birthday cake. If you can see that. Oh shit. So it's like Nutella. So yeah, that's basically probably going to be my lunch and dinner for this evening. All right, if anyone has any questions, yeah, please feel free to ask. And all right, I can't keep playing videos. So if anyone's got any questions whatsoever, please let me know. Let me get rid of that. All right, so once again, I just want to thank each and every coach for giving up like their time, also donating to the cause or causes. Oh man, do you know, I've been really impressed by the standard of the presentations and the masterclasses. It's so much value, and it's been like a really high level. So I'm impressed. I'm really proud of what everybody has delivered. And the best thing is, it's not even over as well. So later on, Brett's going to be doing like 2 masterclasses. So he's going to be talking about like wealth investment and also Holly as well. So Rett syndrome. Paul Yeo is up at the end of the day, the very last masterclass at 10:30. So yeah, he's going to be talking about wealth as well, and and Sophie. So looking forward to that. And we've just got some incredible speakers. So I'm hoping William will get here. I was really looking forward to his masterclass. And who else have we got? Oh, Mon earlier was amazing. I love Dakota's session as well yesterday. And we've got Jenny Falter. Aisha's going to be talking about real estate. Yeah, just so many people. So many people. All right. We've also got Camilla Thompson as well. So she's not a coach. I've got Ryan. Ryan. All right, so Ryan's up next. All right. Cool. So, how do you today? How do people work with me? Oh, that's a great question. That is a great question, Paul. So, yeah, the best way to reach me is Facebook. Yeah, probably Facebook. So I'm not on LinkedIn so much nowadays than what I used to be, but I love LinkedIn as a platform. Actually, let me just share probably just a few things. So the guys that work on Facebook, I love Facebook because it's a great way to build rapport, and most people already sort of know you a little bit with your face. So this is for the coaches. So with your Facebook profile, just make sure that looks like that it's optimized and it looks like that it could be the best that it possibly can be. So even if you're not an authority in your space, you want to make it look like that you are the authority or on your way to being the authority. So making sure that you've got a nice, like a banner that's not too like jumbled with like images and words, just a clear, concise sentence or like a tagline of what you do. So when someone visits your page, they want to know in about 3 or 4 seconds what it is that you do and the people that you help. Have a professional photo. So with mine, I've got a blue background. So blue is a color of like trust and authority. So if you think about police, like ambulances, like nurses, people in the corporate world, they mostly wear blue or dark blue. And also I've got like a yellow ring around it. So whenever like I'm commenting or putting 1,000 emojis on someone's post, or when they see my stuff, then like I stand out from the crowd, and that's what you want. You want to be able to stand out and not try and fit in. So I noticed that with when people are putting out content, a lot of the content is like the same or pretty similar. So you want your content to be really edgy and catchy. So most people are on their phones. For example, you're on your phone today, and then what's going to make you stop is if you see something like either an image or like a title that's like really catchy. So I know that quite a few people over the past couple of days have gone to my page, and my first post, my first pin post says something like, wow, 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 feels so good, I can have an orgasm. And I know that when people are going to be scrolling through that, they're going to be like, WTF, what is going on? I want to read more about this. So I didn't cover this. So I gave my spots away for my mini masterclass, so I can get a couple of other coaches involved this morning. However, with the model, I won't go through the model right now, but with the models, you want something that's going to grab someone's orgasm. You want something that's people's like attention, and my model is, it's kind of like the foreplay. So you have like, you grab someone's attention, and then like next you give them a bit of a teaser of what you're going to talk about, having a bit of foreplay, and then I go into sort of edutainment. So edutainment means like education, entertainment at the same time. So people are learning, and they're also being entertained at the same time. And I guess having a bit of dessert, a bit of a climax at the end. And I'll do like a training on it another time, and we'll go into it. All right, looks like, I don't think William is going to turn up. I'll just check the messages. He's showing up in the recent. Okay, I'm just going to put myself on mute and send a message. Yeah. All right, guys. So William is trying to get on. I think it was my fault. I think I sent the wrong link, so apologies for that. So hopefully he should be on in a minute. Cool. All right, should be here in a minute. What was I talking about? Yeah, content. All right, let me just see if I can quickly just give you guys 3 or a couple of content hacks. So when you guys are struggling for like content, what you can do is, there's a website called Answer the Public, so answerthepublic.com. So that is a website that you can put in like a keyword. So for instance, you could put in mindset, so strong mindset. So say if you typed in strong mindset, and what that website does, it will show you all of the questions or the terms that are searched around strong mindset. So you can see what questions are trending. So it will say something like how to have a strong mindset, why is it important to have a strong mindset? So the importance of that is that you can see what people are actually searching for right now. So you can build your content around those key terms. So that's one. Another one is to do research calls. So most coaches won't do this because it takes a long time. So what I normally do is every, say, 3 or 4 months, I'll pick like a topic. So it might be like confidence. I'll put a message out on like Facebook groups or on my wall, just saying, look, I'm looking for some coaches to steal or borrow 10 to 15 minutes of their time to ask some questions around like confidence. And what you're doing, the key here is like taking down some notes, having specific questions, going through those questions. And then the key is to actually listen to what the coaches are saying or your client. And you want to be using, and if you see a pattern with the types of words, so if they are saying, so the topic, strong mindset, and the word or words or phrases that keep coming up or would be like negative mindset, negative mindset, negative mindset. This is just an example. Then you know that you should be using that word, negative mindset, in all of your content because quite a few people have used it. So I would say to talk to like 20, 30, 40, 50 people as much as possible. And then you know that you're going to be able to get your messaging right for your niche. So that is really, really powerful. All right, just look at William. Okay, we've got about 15 minutes. All right, so that is one. Hey, Georgie. Thanks, Georgie. Yeah, so most coaches won't do that because it takes a long time trying to speak to like 50 people and setting aside, 15 minutes up to maybe half an hour, or even a bit longer, sitting down with someone. The reason that I love it, it's just a great way to build rapport at the end of the conversation and, and to continue that relationship. And at the end, you can say, hey, I am, doing some training about this, or I'm going to be running a challenge, or I'm going to be running a workshop. Do you mind if I, tell you about it once it's finished? And like some of your questions that you could ask as well is around, what sort of price would they, if you were to put together a program, what would they be willing to pay for that program? And if you get lots of people that are saying the same sort of thing, then your research is going to be really relevant. So they're called research or network calls. And another one that I love is PLR. So that's P for Papa, L for Lima, R for Romeo. So PLR stands for private label rights. So with this, you can go into Google. You could even do this right now, type in PLR, and then you'll get thousands of websites that will come up about private label rights. So it's basically white labeling. So say, for instance, the topic was, we'll just go with like mindset again. So in the search box, you could type in mindset, and then you're going to get a list of already made products. So ebooks, checklists, workshops, challenges that have already, books that have already been like made for you. And if you wanted to, you could literally just put your name on it and then like sell it and do whatever. So legally, you're allowed to do that. My advice would be not to do that because one, if I'd done that, I'd be scared that there'd be another coach on the other side of the world, and we're both speaking to like the same client, and we've both got the same ebook that says exactly the same thing. That would look a little bit weird and a bit awkward. However, I would use that framework, the structure, as like a great like starting point, and then just put your spin on it. So that will save you a shitload of time by yeah, thanks, Brett, by doing that. That tip is gold. So it's called PLR, private label rights, and that will just save you so much time. Do you know what I was thinking earlier as well? Is like with us as coaches, or the people that are not coaches are watching this, we have to wear so many different hats. So we are like doing like marketing, like doing sales, trying to get out of our own way. And the key, I believe, is like self-belief. So believing in what you do and how certain you are about that. And I know that it's been testament to like the last couple of days, like the coaches that we have had on, you can just tell that they're experts at what they do. And the key is just getting all those like spinning plates and just getting all of those like balancing at the right time. All right. So 15 minutes. All right, not sure what's going to happen. So I'm just going to reach out to Ryan and make sure that he's going to be here on time, because I did see him in the beginning. All right. I'll see if I can play some music. Share my screen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Ryan here. So we've only got 10 minutes left. And I know that William has problems trying to go live as well. So we're going to get Ryan out here. All right, Mr. Ryan Wicks, make yourself. Hey, buddy, how are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. What about yourself?
I am Muzzin, absolutely amazing. Yeah, thank you for popping on early. So I saw you in the background. I saw you, like, yeah, pop up. So before we get into is that again?
I said I jumped on a little early.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Right, before we get into it, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're going to talk about today?
Yeah, sure. Before I do that, I want to wish you birthday greetings. I trust that you had a wonderful day.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. All right, yeah, a little about myself. I've always been really fascinated about the human mind. You know, fascinated about what causes us to do what we do, why we do what we do. That's always been something that's fascinated me. And so over the last couple of years, I've been spending some time studying with some what persons we call thought leaders in the industry, personal growth industry, persons like Bob Proctor or Nightingale. We're just consuming their material and learn as much as I can, so that I can have that information as well. Be able then to share that information with others is also something that has been a passion for me. So yeah, that's what I a bit about myself. I must put a plug in from where I am. I'm in the beautiful island of Barbados. Those who haven't been here yet, put it on your bucket list. Beautiful island of Barbados.
Ryan, I am jealous. So yeah, my parents are from like Jamaica, so I love Jamaica. Haven't been there for like years and years and years, but I've never been to Barbados. But yeah, I'd love to go. Yeah. So you've been there all your life?
Yeah, born and bred Barbadian. That's right.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm jealous. All right. Well, at least I've got someone that I can come and visit. So we're like, yeah, come and see Ryan. All right, buddy. Do you need slides or anything, or are you just gonna talk?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh, do you need slides? Do you need to use slides?
No, I'm just gonna jump straight into it when I'm ready.
Awesome. All right, let's go. I'll see you in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, pretty good. All right, tonight, guys, I'm really grateful to be here. Really glad for the opportunity that Dre has provided all of us. I'm sure we're all grateful for the opportunity that Dre has provided us with. Tonight, I want to speak about attitude. I mentioned earlier that I've done some studying and listening to some thought leaders in the industry, and one of the thought leaders, Earl Nightingale, he usually calls this the magic word. He calls attitude the magic word, because attitude impacts everything that we do, or attitude towards everything impacts every result that we're looking to get, and impacts everything that we're looking to do. So that's what I want to touch on a bit about tonight. How does our attitude towards things impact results? And then touch a little bit on a few tips on how we can seek to create some create a winning attitude. You know, all of us have got an attitude towards everything in our lives, whether we believe it or not, whether we like the idea or not. We've got an attitude towards everything in our lives. We get to, and the beautiful thing is that we get to choose that attitude. We get to choose the attitude that we have towards everything in our lives. I'm sure many of us in our childhood might hear a teacher say to a child, hey, you need to change your attitude towards work and you're going to get better grades. Or a boss may say, hey, you need to change your attitude towards your work and you'll see that you start to get better results. You know, but what are they really saying to individuals when they're saying to them that they need to change their attitude? Ironically, they themselves have got an attitude towards the individuals in which they're speaking. So it shows you how attitude, even when you're not really thinking about it or recognizing it, is making an impact or is influencing what you're saying towards other individuals. Now, an attitude, as far as I understand it, is a collection of our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions. Our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions. The way in which we look at something is an attitude. The way in which we think about something is an attitude. The way in which we feel towards something is an attitude. The way in which we act towards that thing as well is also an attitude. That's also an attitude that we have towards that particular thing. So we've got an attitude towards everything in our lives. And like I said earlier, the beautiful thing is that we get to choose our attitude. I was listening as Elizabeth was talking a little earlier tonight, and it was really amazing to hear her attitude towards the events and situations that she herself had in her own life. And as she was speaking, I could really appreciate and understand how she made the choice to adopt that attitude. And in adopting the kind of attitude that she did towards the events and circumstances in her own life has led her to be the kind of individual she is today, has led her to be at the point in her life that she is today. She could have made a choice of choosing another attitude. And I'm sure that if she had a different attitude, she may not be at the point that she is today. You know, and I was really just blown away listening to her story and listening to the attitude that she has to all those events that took place in her life. And amazingly, she made a choice to have a progressive attitude towards all those events, to have a positive attitude towards all those events, not to hold a negative attitude, or not to hold a restrictive attitude to those events that she had in her life, but she chose to have a progressive attitude. She chose the attitude that would take her in a direction that she wanted to go, you know? So the ability to have an attitude is ours. No one else can force us to have a specific attitude towards anything in our lives. We get to choose the attitude that we want to have. Oftentimes there's a lot of noise and stuff coming in from the outside that may cause us to lean towards one way in having an attitude. But we get to choose. When all those things are happening, when all those things are coming at us, we get to choose still what attitude we hold. You know, so it is ours. It is our responsibility. It's solely ours to be able to accept, or to choose rather, the attitude that we want to have in our lives. And for me, attitude is everything. We've got that responsibility, and the responsibility is ours alone. And we get to choose the kind of attitude that we want to have in our lives. I'm going to ask us to take us through a little exercise here. And I'm going to ask us to think of a situation in our lives where we are extremely pleased with the results that we're getting. It could be in our health, it could be in our wealth, it could be in our relationships, you know, it could be whatever it is, whatever area that is in our lives that we are having, and that we're pleased with the results that we're getting in our lives. Think about that situation. And then think about the attitude that you have towards that situation. Think about the attitude that you extend towards that situation. Think about, what do I think about that situation? How do I feel? Do I get excited when I think about it? Am I really ready and raring to go whenever I have to do anything in that area of my life? What kind of attitude do you have towards that situation in your life that is producing the results that you really enjoy, that you're really pleased with? Now I'm going to ask you to flip on the other side. And I'm going to ask you to think of a situation in your life that's not producing the results that you really want. And again, it could be any sphere of your life, relationships, it could be your health, your wealth, you know, whatever the situation is. Think about that situation and ask yourself that same question. What is my attitude towards that situation? What do I think about it? And when I have those thoughts about it, how does that make me feel? And then based on those feelings about that situation, am I really excited? Am I really eager to take action towards that area in my life? What is the attitude that I have towards that situation in my life that's not producing the specific results that I really desire to produce? And as you think on that, let's see and ask ourselves another question. Would I be willing to take the attitude I'm having to that less productive area of my life and place that attitude to the area that I'm having satisfactory results? Would you be willing to switch those two attitudes? I can guarantee you'll probably tell me, Ryan, hell no. You wouldn't switch the attitudes in those two situations. But I'm sure you'll be willing to take at least the attitude that you have towards the productive situation in your life, and you would love to be able to apply it to the situation that's not necessarily producing the results that you want. I want to suggest that you can do that. I want to suggest that you can take the attitude you have towards those productive areas in our lives and place them against those areas in our lives where our results are not necessarily what we are pleased with, where those results are not necessarily what we want, that we can switch that attitude and we can place that attitude towards that particular area. Because we know the attitude that we have towards the one we're gaining the results are is a progressive attitude. We know it's one that's producing great results. We know it's one that's giving us that which we want. It's allowing us to feel excited and we're really excited and motivated constantly to act and to take action. And the ability to make that switch now and place it on that particular situation in our lives that may not be necessarily producing the results that we want. So let's do that. You know, let's switch it. Let's, rather than switch, let's place it over on that side and use it in that area where we're not getting the results that we want. There's a statement that says that our attitude at the beginning of any task will impact its outcome. So if we change our attitude in that specific area, we can look out for a change in the outcome. If we change the attitude, if we change how we think about that particular situation, if we change the way we feel about it and change the actions that we take towards that specific area in our lives, we can look for a different outcome. Because we already see how that particular attitude produces a certain result. I want to suggest to us tonight, often we hear about limiting beliefs and we hear about self-doubt and fears and so on that we all may possess. And I want to suggest to us that these things are as a result of the attitude that we have towards those things. The self-doubt, the limiting beliefs, the fears that we may have is about our attitude towards ourselves, towards others, and towards situations. That our attitude towards those things is what is causing the limiting beliefs. It's what's causing the self-doubt. It's what's causing the fears to arise. And years ago, I heard a guy give an analogy of fear as false evidence appearing real. And I love that because, and I held on to that one. It's false evidence appearing real. And that false evidence is appearing just in our minds. That false evidence is just appearing in our minds. So I want to suggest to us tonight that those situations, those things, our attitude towards them is producing the results that we are seeing. Those fears, those doubts, those limiting beliefs. It's our attitude towards those areas in our lives. And this is how our attitude impacts our results. This is how the way we think about something, the way we feel about it, and the actions we take towards it causes and produces the results that we get in various and specific areas in our lives. Remember earlier I stated that our attitude is our responsibility. And if we take the responsibility for ourselves, we have control over our attitude. Do we always exercise the control over our attitude as we should? No, we don't. Let's be realistic. But we have control. And when we accept that we have control, then we can take the necessary action. We can take the necessary steps to gain control of our attitude towards any area in our lives. You know, my daughter, who is 13 years old, has just always been a source of inspiration for me. From the time she was born, she was diagnosed with various conditions, one condition after the next. And her attitude towards every single condition that she might have been diagnosed with was, okay, what's next? How do we manage this? Let's keep going. She chose to have that attitude towards it. As young as 6, 7, 8 years old, that was her attitude towards it. She chose that attitude. She said, hey, it is what it is. Condition is here. How do we manage it? How do I continue enjoying my life? And that's the attitude that she took. And that has been an inspiration for me. Just seeing her, just watching her take that attitude towards all the circumstances that have happened in her own life has also allowed me to follow suit and similarly take those similar attitudes. So we get to choose the attitude. We get to have that choice. It's our responsibility. Let's hold on to that responsibility. And let's take the responsibility to choose the attitude that would give us the results that we want. I want to share 3 simple steps that I share with my clients as we're looking at developing their winning attitude. And the first thing is that we often look at being able to determine a clear result of what we want. Having a clear result. You know, what result do I want to have here? What is the result that I want to have in this particular situation? And then we look at identifying, you know, what is the attitude that I need to have to be able to produce that result. They often say to be able to change something in your life, we've got to change. So what attitude do I need to adopt to be able to produce the result that I want to produce? And then thirdly, we become deliberate at adopting and maintaining the specific attitude that is required to produce the result that we're looking to produce. Become deliberate. We be deliberately obtain and adopt that attitude, and then we maintain that attitude towards that particular result that we're looking to get. Remember, it will take work. It will take work, but as long as the desire for that result is great, we will be willing to do what is required. I'm going to leave us with a few points on the whole idea of attitude and the whole idea of striving for a winning attitude. It is our attitude at the beginning of a task which more often than not will produce a successful outcome. Our attitude to others determines their attitude towards us. Winning attitudes is not the result of success, but success is the result of having a winning attitude. Our minds can hold only one thought at a time. So let's choose to have a winning attitude in our thoughts. Let that be our predominant mindset. Having a winning attitude. Radiate the attitude of well-being and confidence. And the final point I want to share, look for the good in everything. I heard Elizabeth again speaking at this time. I was just wowed by her presentation. And she says she takes joy and celebrates silly things. Elizabeth is just looking for the good in everything. And you see the joy that she is looking for in her and emanating out of her. So look for the good in everything. I'll close with this one thing. Change your attitude towards the thing, and the thing will change to match your attitude. Change the attitude towards a thing, and the thing will change to match your attitude. That's going to be me, Dre.
Somebody call Cristiano Ronaldo because you just scored a goal. That was absolute fire, Ryan. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm going to be very quick because we've got William Joseph in the background, and I can see Carolina as well. And I want to try and see if I can fit William in. So what's the best way for people to get hold of you?
Facebook and LinkedIn.
Facebook and LinkedIn. Excellent.
Yeah.
And all right, just going to put up quickly a few comments. So Georgie was saying, love this, have a winning attitude. Thanks, Ryan. What else have we got? Cool. And then Dakota saying, I love that. All right, brilliant. All right, one last thing. Is there one last thing that you'd like to leave us with? Anything at all?
Yeah. You spoke about dad jokes. I've got a dad joke here for you.
Yes. All right.
When did a joke become a dad joke?
Oh, I don't know.
When it becomes apparent.
Oh, yes, I see that. I like that. That's smart. I like that. Ryan, I just want to say, yeah, thank you for coming on like slightly early. Love everything that you've dropped today. Absolute fire. Thanks for all the support. And I've seen you in the background, you know, like helping and like just giving love and everything like that. So you're an absolute superstar. We are going to have to catch up again very soon.
No problem, Jay. Thanks a lot for your opportunity again, guys. Enjoy the rest of your birthday.
Thank you. I'll speak soon. All right. Next, I'm going to get William Joseph, and I'm going to see if we can fit him in just before Carolina, 15, 20 minutes. Yeah, okay, awesome. William Joseph, how are you, buddy?
We made it. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you perfectly. I want to say I've been, don't tell the rest, but out of everybody, I've been looking forward to your presentation. Because question, your title was, if I gave you $1 million client, you know, would you take that opportunity? And I was like, oh. So initially I'm thinking, yes.
Come on, Dre. If I gave you $1 million client right now, would you take it?
I'm saying yes, but there's got to be some twist in there. So I'm like, I want to see you. All right, are you able to do everything in 15, 20?
You know what? I'm just gonna go with it. Yeah, absolutely. Just give me 2 minutes. I can make an ass of myself in 2 minutes.
All right, I'm gonna leave you to it. Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah. Oh shit. Okay. All right.
Teresa gave me a script that I have to talk about myself. You know, I love talking about myself, but let me give you just a quick introduction about who I am. Coach William Joseph. I'm passionate about helping people. I've received several degrees and certificates, and I'm constantly working to improve. I am a board-certified life coach and a mediator with an emphasis on relationships, parent and family, and parenting. I was also honored to be a featured speaker at the Next Gen Business Summit this past April. Helping people. Okay, well, I get it. We're all here for the same thing. We love helping people. We have a great program here. We have a great. Thanks, Dre. Oh my gosh, you're just killing it. I can't see how you're staying up all night, all morning to launch this thing, but you're doing a real good job. And I've heard so many of the coaches already speak. My gosh, I applaud you guys. Oh my gosh, it's like I'm learning a lot. It's really, really, really neat. And so, yeah, guys, I have this thing, and I'm just gonna kind of like shoot by the hip because, you know, that's what I've got, a hip. I got 2 of them actually. I pose this question: if I gave you $1 million client, would you take it? And Dre, he's got it right. You know, there is a caveat to it, but spend a couple seconds. If I gave you $1 million client, would you take it? Ding 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 ding. I hope so. I certainly would. Okay. If I gave you $1 million client and there's only one caveat that you would have to leave your family tomorrow, would you still take it? Would it be worth it? Family, $1 million. $1 million client. Family, $1 million client. I've heard a lot of beautiful things said from many life coaches and relationship coaches. I think I'm number 79. There's just been some great insight on this idea and this topic. And I really hope that your answer would be no. You wouldn't take it, not for your family. You wouldn't be able to leave your family for it. And so my topic today is just that, putting your family first. Why family should be priority number one. Making what's most important. Without family to share it, what good is it? What am I going to do with $1 million if I didn't have my beautiful 7-year-old son to spend it on? He can spend it pretty quickly. What would I do? I just don't know that it'd be worth it. Not for me anyway. Despite each of us having different priorities, different values, like work and career, friends, hobbies, no matter what class, culture, color, or creed, we all have this one value in common, and that is, hopefully, it's family. Family. Sometimes we just can't get over ourselves. In the grand scheme of things, we are just not that important. It's true. No matter the situation, the only people that we are important to is our family. That's what matters most. Not the people at work, not the people on the beach, not the people at the bar. Not even, it's truly true. You can't take all this money with you. You can't take things with you. But what you can take with you is knowing that you left behind a good legend. Leaving behind something for your family to reach out on and to keep and to prosper. Knowing that your family learned and grew from what you shared with them while you're here on Earth. That's huge. The values that you instill, the teachings that you instill. I think it's just a super important thing to remember. So anyway, I don't want to get this all dull and ugly and sad and depressing, but it is kind of cool that we have all these different beautiful ways to create a better family for ourselves. I'm going to go ahead and just skip this because I know I'm a little late, and I appreciate Dre giving me some time to talk with y'all a little bit. This is really, really important as far as what I believe to be number one. I've heard a lot, and I've grown a lot. Building a firm foundation around the best version of you is the best way to strengthen your family. Let go of what no longer serves you. We only have so much time, so much energy in our life. And so in order to really create some movement forward or to better something that maybe isn't so great or that could be better, I think everything could be better. We need to be able to let go of some of those things that kind of hold us back, some of those things that don't serve us, some of those things that, exactly that, no longer serve us. Matthew McConaughey, he wrote a book. What was his book? He wrote a book. In his book, he wrote something about don't leave crumbs behind. And so that kind of resonates with you. Great. If it doesn't, shoot me a DM. We'll talk about it. But don't leave crumbs. It's kind of a cool and crucial idea of establishing this foundation around your family. Laugh at yourself. Don't ever take yourself too seriously. Now, with family, it's quantity over quality. I mean, quality. How many people are listening? Someone got that right. Someone got that mistake. Quality over quantity. It is super important to be able to kind of like work hard and family hard. So work hard, family. I guess we've heard the work hard, play hard. Well, I like the idea of work hard and then family hard. Separate work and your family. So when you're home, you're home. When you're at work, be at work. Prioritize your life around that which you can't touch. So things that are like non-negotiable. And for me, it's my family. My family is non-negotiable. Things that are important to me is that. That's my priority. So everything else kind of like is like kind of circles around my family time. And it's kind of cool because when you do this, the important ones around you, they know you, they'll understand you, they will give you the grace that, well, they'll do that. They'll give you grace, they'll give you that tolerance. Teresa, my business manager, she knows I'm unavailable when my son is with me. She knows me and she knows my priorities. And you know what? That's okay. It's going to have to be okay because, well, that's just what it is. It is what it is. When you do this, well, think about it. Think about when you're at work, but you have like, yeah, take this for example. If you're at work and your family's on your mind, are you really at work? And switch that around a little bit. If you're at home, but you have work on your mind, are you really present with your family? Interesting, right? And so when you have things good, when you have things successful, when you have things at home that you can just real feel good about moving out, or not moving out, but moving your time and your energy and your thought process to work, you can be at work. If you can't really be at two places at one time, I don't care how many y'all think that you're really good at multitasking. We're really not. It's just we're not made for that. If we're really going to focus on something, we focus on one thing at a time. And so my thought to you is, when you're at home, be at home. When you're at work, be at work. So let's see what else. I've got a couple more things here. I just want to run down a couple of things, like, hold a safe space. Hold a safe space for your family and your children to change themselves and become their true versions, their truest versions. As dad, as mom, you're coaching the team, setting the example. Make it your intention to bring out their curiosity and become like their curiosity to what they can actually achieve. And so, yes, I want my son to play soccer. Yes, I want him to be able to swim and to do triathlon, because that's what I love to do. I do that. So I would love to see my son do it. Sure, absolutely. I'm not going to live vicariously through my son. He's going to be who he wants to be. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to coach him to be the best version of that, whatever it may be. That's how you build a solid family. That's how you build a solid son. That's how you build a solid self. And so, like I talked about in the very, very beginning of this short time together, I talked about being at work, be at work, be at home, do it great. When you're at home, really be there, really be present, do it great. When you're at work and do it great. That's how you can do these things together. It's makes sense. It makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, yeah, it's basic, but it definitely makes sense to me. Here's the thought. Give them permission by giving yourself permission and the reminder that your life is lived on your terms, and you hold the space for others to do the same. I want my son, I would love my son to do the things that I do. But if that doesn't define, or what he does doesn't define me, what he does defines him. And that's okay. If he does the things that I love to do, great, fantastic. We'll do a lot of things, fun things together. But if he chooses to do things on his behalf, on what he wants to do, so long as I can coach him to bring out that true self, so he's happy and he's just knocking it out of the park, and he's adding value to himself and adding value to others and not taking away from other people. I think that's a pretty blessed life to be living. And I want to be a part of that. I have a lot of really, really fun stuff. But the bottom line is this. As a life coach, I'm all about personal development. And as a relationship coach, I'm all about personal development. It's the idea of building self first, worrying about that relationship with yourself first. When you take care of yourself, and we've had some great coaches talk about these things, and very insightful too, might I add. The idea of putting your own oxygen mask on first, the idea of taking care of yourself first, because you can't take care of anyone else until you take care of yourself first. Prioritize yourself first, and therefore, again, building your foundation around yourself, thus building your family around that attitude, that example, that mindset, that state of perspective, of mind, of body. It's truly, truly, truly amazing that should you take care of things at home, everything else will fall in place. So I ask you again, if I gave you $1 million client, but you had to leave your family in order to do it, would you do it? I doubt you would, and I hope you wouldn't. Because I guarantee this, if there's a way, if there's a path, that's in part of your path, you take care of your family first, everything else will come easy. Everything else will come much more simple. So that's what I've got, Dre. You know, I've got a dad joke too. I mean, gee whiz, I don't know where you are, but talk to me, buddy. Talk to me.
Yes,
Again, thanks for getting me
yes,
on.
please.
Kind of like I was trying to blame Teresa on it, but I don't know that she's around to help me blame her. So I don't know.
No, that is awesome. I just first I just want to say like thank you to you, because I've seen you watching all the other coaches and engaging and commenting and asking questions, and it's been phenomenal. So I really appreciate that and coming on board, because I know it was very sort of short notice and like things have been like,
a little bit.
and, like, really busy and but yeah, really appreciate
But the right
everything
and the Angelman, those syndromes, they're real, and I'm hoping that goodness. I mean, I know that we've surpassed our goals, which is super fantastic. My gosh, coaches, I applaud you. But it's a super important thing what you're doing, Dre, and happy birthday. I guess it's your birthday, right? Should I sing?
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dre. Happy birthday to you. Be happy.
Oh,
You're doing great.
legend.
You're doing great. You're doing great. Love to see it.
All right. So
you want to hear my dad joke real fast?
Yes, a couple of things. I want a dad joke, and then I want you to leave us with some sort of quote or something inspirational or motivational, or some sort of like phrase or saying that you love or that you live by.
Yeah. You know, a saying that I love really to bring it down to be really real about it is your perception is your reality. Your perception is your reality. It doesn't make it mine. So my perception is my reality. Your perception is yours. And although those perceptions might be different, and they would, we're all individuals, and that's okay. That's the deal, though. Just because we have different perspectives or perceptions of things doesn't make one of us right, one of us wrong, doesn't make one of us good and the other bad. It makes us different. And guess what? That difference needs to be okay. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have, the struggle, and I see it all the time. It's like, well, you're wrong and I'm right. You're good and I'm bad, or the other way around. But it's just silly. No. Your perception is your reality. How you do things is how you do things. Of course, there's consequences. There's consequences sometimes to those behaviors or those ideas. But truly, you know, let your perceptions govern you and let my perceptions govern me. My perceptions govern me, and that needs to be okay. And my other one is just do you. Yeah.
Do you? Yeah.
And you want to hear my dad? I was really practicing.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there's this guy. He was in this station wagon. Do you guys have station wagons out there in Australia? We did a long time ago in the States here. Yeah. But a station wagon is kind of like a big back end to it. But there's a gentleman. I think it was Vegas. Yeah, he was driving down the street in Las Vegas and in his station wagon, and the cop sees this station wagon and he pulls this person over. He pulls him over and looks in the back area of the station wagon. He says, "Dude, what do you do with all these penguins?" And the guy says, "So, officer, man, it's just the weirdest thing. They all showed up in my house this morning, and I have no idea what to do with all these penguins. I mean, I don't know." And the police officer says, "Well, I suggest you take him to the zoo." And the man that's driving the station wagon with all these penguins in his car says, "You know what? That's a fantastic idea. I think I'll take him to the zoo." Cop left him at that. But however, a couple of days later, same cop pulled over the same station wagon with the same individual driving it with the same penguins inside the station wagon. And that officer says, "Sir, I pulled you over just a couple of days ago and I saw you with this station wagon with all these penguins in it. What on earth are you doing?" He says, "I don't know." I said, "Well," the officer said, "Well, I thought I told you that you should take him to the zoo." The man looks at him and says, "Yes, yes, sir, officer, I did. A couple days ago, I took him to the zoo. Today, I'm taking him to the movies." What? Right? Rylan, do you like that one?
I like that. I didn't know where that was going. I like that.
Let's go to
All right.
the movies. Listen,
All right.
take care of yourself, Dre. Man,
You
you're
too.
killing it. You're killing it.
We
What else you
have
got
to
for me?
catch up. We have to catch up definitely. So I'm gonna be reaching out to you, and I just want to say I appreciate everything that you've been doing. Like actually, and also a shout out to Teresa, like your business partner as well. She's been fantastic, like in the background, just organising everything and supporting.
Yeah.
Lots of love to
Can we
both
go
of you.
ahead and blame her? Can we blame her on the fact that we didn't get
Not
going
blaming
an hour ago?
not blaming anyone. All right, William. See you soon. Yeah, thanks, mate.
Hey, real fast. So how you guys get a hold of me is Facebook is the fastest way to do it. Coach William Joseph on Facebook. Page is Coach William Joseph LLC. I'm all over the place. Just look for Coach William Joseph. And Teresa wanted me to tell you that we have some freebies. We have some freebies available. If you went on to my site or my Facebook page and just DM me or PM me or whatever me, just write in there that you'd want a copy of our ebook that Teresa and I are putting together. So we're putting that out there for everybody. We're also putting out we have access to what they call Father in 15. It's really, really cool. There are these 15-minute segments to how to become a better father. It's really, really neat. We have access to it through my groups because we reach out to we reach out to everybody, but we reach out to fathers going through separation, separation, our relationship, our parenting, post-separation, post-divorce, because honestly, and bless their hearts, there's so much help out there for women and wives and moms going through traumatic experience or toxicity and stuff like that. And we help that as well. But because there's very limited opportunity or help for men out there going through separation, I mean, just it's really sad, and we're really reaching out. We're really reaching out to those men that might be struggling, that might need just somewhere to come and vent, somewhere to come and listen, someone to get some perspective and some insight as to what to do next. Because there is a lot of help out there for women, not so much for men. But you know what, Coach William Joseph, we're there for you.
Right,
and so, yeah.
You're a legend. All right. Thanks, William. Appreciate you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Coach. Thank you, buddy. All right, now we've got Carolina. I'm not even going to pronounce because I'm never Krakowski. There we go. There we go. Now I'm going to give that one a go. Probably going to balls it up. All right, let's give it up for Carolina Krakowski. I balls it up.
Woo-hoo. Hello. How are you doing? Can you hear me good?
Yes, well, perfectly.
Just
Amazing.
checking.
Yeah, thank you so
Perfect.
much for coming on. Love catching up with you. Feel like I haven't seen you in a long while. Just really quickly, what are you going to be talking about today?
Oh, I'm going to talk about the frequency of money. The frequency of money.
All right, I'm going to be writing notes. And who are your clients that you help?
My clients are women in business who basically want to have it all. Relationship, health, business, money, travel, body, everything. They want to have it all because why not?
I love that. Yes, I want it all as well. All right. So, do you need any slides or anything, or are you just gonna talk?
No, I have no slides. I'm just going to riff a little bit. But first, I wanted to wish you a happy birthday. And thank you so much for putting this event together. It's absolutely amazing. And thank you for all the people who were already speaking and who will be speaking. You guys are amazing. So thank you so much for being here. And I'm super excited to be here as well. So thank you.
You are amazing. So I'm going to leave you to back in about 20 minutes. We're going to have to wrap up probably a few minutes before 1 o'clock because we're going to end this session and then start a brand new stream. So I'll see you in a minute.
Awesome. So hello guys. Hello. Welcome and thank you so much for being here, for spending this 20 minutes with me. And I wanted to actually start with a question. And my question to you is, why are you here? Why are you here? What are your intentions for being here? Because if you are here participating, contributing, or just watching this masterclass, either live or maybe on recording, it means that you have a huge, huge heart. Let's face it, you have a huge heart. The heart that wants to basically do good things in life. And you're probably, I don't know, maybe an entrepreneur, coach, mentor, a business owner, or wanting become a business person, an entrepreneur who wants to make a big, big impact in the world, and being massively compensated for your work while creating an impact. And you know that money is the tool, one of the tools that actually can help you with that. Money can help you with that. Yet, you may have an interesting relationship with money. So who here has a really interesting relationship with money? Like kind of like love-hate relationship. So I want you to think right now, just think to yourself, like, what is your relationship with money? On a scale from 1 to 10, what is your relationship with money? 1 being like, oh my gosh, like, no, we hate each other, we are getting divorced. Like, no, that's my relationship with money. And 10 being like, yes, we love each other, we have a beautiful, loving relationship, we have sex every night. Yes, we basically like, we cannot live without each other, and we feel so safe with each other. So what is your relationship with money? On a scale from 1 to 10, 5. Okay, beautiful. So I want to tell you that my relationship with money used to be exactly that number. It used to be 5. And it was never like lack, but never more than enough. It was always just enough. And I was born in Poland and raised as well. I came to United States. Right now I live in Florida in United States. And I came to United States about like 8 years ago, I think. And back in Poland, I felt like I was put in like a box, with a bunch of labels, who you should be, what you should do, what you can do, what you cannot. And basically I was like, oh my gosh, like, I know that there is more out there. There is so much more out there to live. And I always wanted to be able to do great things in life, to travel the world, to be able to work from anywhere and impact people. I always had big dreams. So when I came to United States, I worked many different jobs. I worked at the restaurant, at the gas station, babysitting, cleaning houses. And at some point, I was like, oh my gosh, like, is this all? Is this really all? Why I came to United States? Why I left my whole family back in Poland and I came to United States? Is it all? And I was making money, but it was just enough. It was just enough. And your brain operates on one of those 3 ways. There is either lack, just enough, or abundance. Everything you do either repels, attracts, or keeps money at the same level. And from a very young age, you probably know that from a age from 0 to 7, we have been programmed. We were like, little walking sponges, absorbing everything from the environment. And you have been watching people around you making, saving, managing, and spending money in certain ways. You observe them, you learn from them, and you took their truth as your truth. In your mind and body, you created certain feelings, certain beliefs, and stories around money. And you walk through your life with all of those feelings and beliefs and stories as it is the only way of being and doing things. And it is not. It is not. Money is tied to emotions. How you feel about money is how you experience it. So what emotions do you have around money? And you can type in the chat. I would love to hear from you. What emotions do you guys have around money? What meaning do you give to money, to wealth, to rich people? How do you feel when you see rich people? How do you feel when you see other people, other coaches celebrating big money online? Another client, another sale. Yeah, how do you feel? Really, be honest with yourself. Feel it in your body. How do you feel when you pay your bills? How do you feel when you pay your taxes? How does it feel in your body when you see a price tag that is way higher than you expected? How does it feel when you go to the store and they scan all your products and there is $200 to pay and you didn't expect it? And at the end, they ask you if you would like to donate $2 to Children's Hospital, and you're like, no, thank you. How does it feel in your body? Because feelings of fear, of judgment, of doubt, shame, guilt, comparison, all of those feelings, they create resistance. And in resistance, we resist money. We resist our own feelings. We create stories and beliefs around money. And even though we really desire, we desire more money, but subconsciously, we don't really want it because it's bad. Because we have all those stories that money is the root of all evil, that it causes problems, that it's unsafe, there is never enough. We have all those fears around money, and we constantly tell ourselves that we don't need things, right? Have you ever told to yourself, like, oh, I wish I could, buy this pair of shoes, but no, I don't really need it right now. Oh gosh, I really wish I could buy this program, but no, I'm okay. Oh gosh, I really wish I could invest in this coach. No, but I don't need it. I can do it myself. Sometimes we even think and want vacation. And we're like, no, okay, I have to work. I don't need the vacation right now. Next month. So every single time you say to yourself that you don't need something that you really want, you feel unworthy of it. You create unworthiness. You collect evidence of your own unworthiness. And it is not your fault. It was imprinted in your mind before you even could do anything about it. And it's not even fault of your parents, your teachers, your caregivers. If they knew better, they would probably give you different codes, because those are like codes, money codes. But you get different codes. You didn't get the codes to be, wealthy from your school. They don't teach that at school, right? They don't teach it. That's why I created my Money Delusion program, where I basically take my clients on a 2-week intense deep dive journey of shaking your nervous system and upgrading your money codes. Because it is all stored in our body, in our nervous system. It's not even stored in our mind. It's stored in our nervous system. But I want you to know that we were not born with fear. We were not born with all those negative emotions. You were born with love. You were born with love, with joy, with excitement, with curiosity, with worthiness. When you were born, you looked at your parents, your caregivers, everyone around you with eyes full of love. You were so joyful. Someone did a peekaboo and you were like, yay, oh my gosh, so excited. You were curious about everything. You were looking at everything, touching everything, tasting everything. You were so curious. And you felt worthy. You didn't care if there is money to, for diapers. Who cared, right? You were worthy of changing a diaper. You just surrendered and you trusted that you are going to be okay and someone's going to take care of you. And then something happened. When you were crying, you were basically like expressing your emotions. You were expressing your discomfort. Maybe you wanted food, you were hungry, you wanted some food. Maybe you pooped yourself and you needed a change. Maybe you were teething and it was painful. So when you were crying, you were basically in discomfort, expressing your emotions. And at some point along the journey, something happened. And for the very first time, you felt disappointment. Disappointment was your first wound that was created in your body. Maybe your mom ignored you. Maybe your dad yelled at you. And you put them on a pedestal, but they didn't do something that you expected them. Before they were so loving, so caring, and one day they just yelled at you, or maybe even spanked you, or did something. And you felt for the very first time disappointment. You were disappointed that they are not the person that you expected them to be. And then another emotions showed up. Fear, feeling unsafe, sadness, anger, guilt, shame that you did something wrong. All of those emotions showed up. And then you were watching your parents maybe dealing with money. And you are absorbing everything, and everything is stored in your body. Everything is stored in your nervous system if you don't process your emotions. So you were born with all of those loving, joyful emotions, and the other ones are learned. You learn them along the way. So how does your emotions actually relate to money? We all know that money is energy, right? Money is energy. It's not the paper, it's not the coins, it's not the numbers on your screen, on your bank account. It's the energy. Everything is energy. And money has its own frequency. And I remember when I heard it for the very first time, money is energy and it has frequency. It triggered me so much. Oh my gosh. You can't even imagine how it triggered me. I was like, okay, what do you mean money is energy? Like, how does it work? If money responds to my energy, then why am I not a billionaire yet? Right? My energy is high, like my thoughts are positive, I work hard, I'm a good person, so it should work. And if it's not working, then it means that it's a bunch of BS. I couldn't understand it with my logic mind. But the more I was curious about it, the more I looked for evidence, the more evidence I got from the environment that it is the truth. And everything actually shifted when I started doing the energy work and going deeper and deeper, stripping away all the old conditioning, facing my fears, and embodying the new codes of abundance. When I finally remembered and accepted that I was born worthy. I was born worthy of everything, and so were you. So what is the frequency of money then? What is the frequency of money? I want you to imagine this like a radio. Let's say that you are playing a music. You want to play, your favorite song is playing on a frequency of, let's say, 107, frequency 107. And you are currently listening music on a frequency 75.3. And you want to listen to your favorite song. It's playing right here. but your radio station is right here. So even if you make it louder, this one is going to, are you going to listen to only this one? No, you cannot. You are on two different frequencies, right? It's just like two different playgrounds. Here is the playground with mud, with anger, with fear, with scarcity, with doubt, uncertainty, judgment, shame, guilt, worry, lack, feeling not good enough, need, disappointment. This is the playground here, the mud. And right here is another playground. It's a beautiful white sand beach with, palm trees and delicious drinks. And you're playing here. That's not the frequency. That's not the playground that you want to play in. And every single time you see someone over there, you want to be there. You want to be on the white, beautiful sand beach. White sand beach, beautiful. But you're like, I'm not sure. Those people over there, they have too much fun. They have too much fun. They celebrate too much. I don't know. I really like my toys here. I really like my toys here. I really want to be there, but I don't know. And every single time someone tells you, hey, I'm going there. I know the way there. I'm already on the way. Come on, go with me. You're like, I want to, but this is actually safe. This is known. Like, I already know my tools, my toys. Like, look, this is a toy of doubt. This is a toy of anger. I really like to play with my toys. And someone tells you like, hey, but there is, much more fun. Like, there are different toys. There is joy, there is excitement, there is fun, there is trust, there is desire, there is love. Come on, let's go. There is potential. There is appreciation. There is certainty. Let's go. And you're like, I want to, but I'm so afraid. I don't know. Come on, go. Is it going to be easy? No, it's not. But let's go. I know the way. I think I will do it tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. I will stick a little bit here in my safe mud. Like, how? You gotta take a step out of this mud. You gotta take a step out and go towards this white sand beach. And very often, why we don't do that? Because we put money on a pedestal. We put money on a pedestal. So take money out of the pedestal. Because money is not above or below you. Money is the same as you. It's equal. When something or someone is on a pedestal, it's out of reach. It's like celebrities, right? Like Beyonce, Rihanna. We unconsciously put people and things on a pedestal, and the pedestal is not real. It's just in your head. Nothing and no one is above you or below you. I'm not above or below you. I'm equal as you. I may be a few steps ahead or a few steps behind you in certain areas of life, but we are all equal. We are on this journey called life, going shoulder to shoulder. And money is equal as well. Money is neutral. Money doesn't make you bad or good. It just strengthens the energy of the person who holds it. It amplifies who you are. So your work is to be able to handle the amplification. Expand your capacity to hold more. Because money doesn't care if you're a man or a woman, if you're a black or white. It doesn't judge. if you are old or young, money just is. It's neutral. It doesn't discriminate. It does just respond to you. It flows through you. It's circulated through you. And money wants to be playful. Money likes to move. Why all those people who have money, they always have fun, right? Yachts, hotels, trips, first class flights. Why? Because money likes to have fun. Money likes to be celebrated. It likes to be respected and trusted. And money wants to feel safe with you. But if you don't feel safe with money, it won't feel safe with you. So I want you to really quickly close your eyes right now and go back in time a little bit, or maybe even a little bit more, and just allow your mind to wonder what happened in your life that you don't feel safe with money. Whatever comes to your mind, the earliest memory that comes to your mind that makes you feel like you're not safe with money. And whatever comes to your mind, it's absolutely perfect at this moment. It means that it needs to be addressed right now. And I want you to know, and I know that we are about to finish, we are about, out of time. So I want you to know that money is just emotional game. And I want to leave you with one really powerful sentence. There is no lack in the universe. There is only lack in our minds. And that's what we need to work on. So, thank you, Dre. I hope I made it in time.
Karolina, that was fire. So good. So good. And for me, I'll just be really quick. For me personally, what I was thinking about my relationship with money, but also my relationship with women, which are probably a bit similar. And there was things that you were saying which were resonating for both about not being worthy of and there's I have to talk to you another time, but yeah, absolutely loved it. So that was, it was really special. A couple of things before you go. How can people get hold of you?
Yes, so definitely social media, Facebook, Instagram, Karolina Krakowska. Definitely you can find me there. On Instagram, it's Karolina Krakowska coaching. Loving this, working. Yes, love it, Nico. So definitely social media, and also if you guys are interested in diving a little bit deeper into the money frequency, I ran a free masterclass a few weeks ago. So it was around the money frequency. So you can definitely watch it, the recording, and I would be absolutely happy to send you the recording if you guys are interested. Just shoot me a message and I will send you the link. And and next week, actually, I'm going to run a beautiful masterclass around also sales. So the new paradigm of online sales. So if you guys are interested, I would love to have you there as well.
Awesome. I'll be very interested. All right, Caroline, I'm gonna have to cut it there. You are so amazing. I love whenever we catch up. Thank you for everything, the birthday love, coming on here and sharing, because money for most people is kind of a bit of a touchy subject. And just all the support and contribution, absolutely everything. So love you to bits. You'll catch up soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.
So first, this live stream is shutting down. We're going to be opening up another one with Cristiano. So I'm going to shut this down and then just stay around.